David McWilliams led Texas Tech to an upset against his alma mater, Texas, and Fred Akers. It would be his only season in Lubbock. After taking over the Longhorns program, McWilliams returned to the South Plains 2 years later. But it was his former players who rejoiced in a one-point victory. Last year, Texas was riding high after back-to-back defeats of Oklahoma and Arkansas. But a loss to the Red Raiders was the beginning of a slide that saw the Horns lose 4 of their final 5 games. Today, McWilliams and Texas return to Lubbock with the Longhorns in the driver's seat for the Mobile Cotton Bowl. And Texas Tech hopes to burst their bubble once again on Raycom. To be in Dallas on New Year's Day, but Dave Rowe, the tough thing about paybacks is when you have to do them on the road, it's a whole different story.
Well, it certainly is. And anytime you put these two teams together, you throw out the records, you throw out the point spreads. And you remember last year, Texas was a 3-touchdown favorite, and they lost. So I'll tell you one thing, they remember that very well. And there's the South Plains, the tight games on the South Plains. 4 of the last 5 games have been decided by 4 points or less.
What Texas feels makes them a different team this year is what has been to date the best defense in the conference.
Boy, and I think it is also. They have 3 seniors, Oscar Giles, Brian Jones, and Stanley Richards. They are a defensive end, a linebacker, and a defensive back, and they are great leaders and great seniors.
The big play was the key for Texas Tech in this game last year. Jamie Gill had better have another big day today.
Well, they called him last year Thrill Gill, and not many Texas Tech fans will ever forget that. But for Tech to win today, the offensive line must block well, and Jamie Gill must have a big, big day.
The Red Raiders are trying to make some history. No Texas Tech team has ever beaten Texas 3 straight years. That's what they have a chance to do. And we'll return for the kickoff after these messages from Southwest Airlines. It's expected at Jones Stadium in Lubbock. The wind chill is somewhere in the high teens. A norther a few hours ago blew through here, and it's 43 degrees. The wind, obviously, is going to be a major determining factor in this game, and will probably get wet before we're all done. David McWilliams and Spike Dykes, Dave, go way back. All the way back to the mid-'60s high school battles, in fact, between Abilene and Big Spring.
Very, very good friends. There's Spike Dykes, and what he had to say. They got mobility, agility, hostility. They got all the abilities that you can come up with.
Well, not surprisingly, Texas winning the toss, and they take the win and try to get a leg up here in the first half. Rodney Blackshear and Scotty Allen set to return the kick from Michael Pollock. Barefooted, if you just imagine what that must feel like today. Well, with that huge gust behind him, well over the end line, and so the Red Raiders will go from their 20. And a man who hopes to have a little more time than he had against Miami when we were here last week is Jamie Gill, the junior from Hearst, 6'3", 6'2" and 210. And Gill coming in as the 16th rated passer in the NCAA. 52%, 6 touchdowns, and 3 interceptions. Spent a great deal of the Miami game flat on his back, as did his backup, Robert Hall. First down to give is to the I-back, and Anthony Lynn struggles forward in the grasp of James Patton for maybe a yard. As we check the rest of the Red Raider offense, a good look at Lynn, the junior from Salina. With him in the backfield, Shane Sears is the fullback, Hume is the tight end, and Manny Weather and Blackshear need to have big days for the Red Raiders. Up front, Dubose, Duvall, Elam, Mancias, and Biggers for Texas Tech. 1 yard for Lynn, 2nd and 9. And Donald Marshall is checked in at the I-back as Gill wants to throw into that wind and knocked away at midfield. Mark Berry, the left corner, with a hand on the delivery from Gill.
And Dave, already an offensive change. Anthony Lynn went out after that first play, and Donald Marshall came in. We knew that Anthony Lynn was hurt coming into this game. Been nicked all week, and I think we'll see a lot more Donald Marshall.
Pass was intended for Manny Weather. Up front for Texas, Dronette, Patton, Jeter, and Giles, an Outland Trophy candidate. Powell, Jones, and Pearl are the linebackers, and a much improved secondary with Barry, Cavness, Gunn, and Richard. 3rd and 9. Gill under pressure, has Blackshear, he will score!
Unbelievable. They give him time. They gave Jamie Gill some time to stand back there. Watch this. He's going to launch this thing. Wind in his face, and he just throws it up. Look at the wind just kind of hold it up in the air. He catches it in stride. And you called it 7-0. This is again the play. There's no fooling on this play. It's just throw it up, run underneath it. It's one-on-one coverage. You can see he trips a little bit, stumbles a little bit on the coverage. And there's the touchdown.
Willie Mac Garza, the nickelback, the man who lost his footing. Last year's 6th touchdown catch of the year. And we're back after these messages from Southwest Airlines. This is what Texas Tech needed against Miami last week. Something to get the crowd into the game, and this is what did it. 79 yards to Blackshear, who's got 3 of the longest touchdown catches in the Southwest Conference this year.
Boy, that'll get the excitement just pumping in you.
Lynn Elliott to Adrian Walker. And Walker stumbling to the 21. He was down before losing control. And it's still Texas ball, and they will start 79 yards away.
And that's a good point. The ground cannot cause a fumble. He stumbled, went down, the ball was down. Now watch right here. He gathers it. Now when he goes down, remember the ground cannot cause a fumble. There's he's down. Now the ball just squirts out. And that is not a fumble.
Peter Gardere, 57% passer, 4 touchdowns, and 4 interceptions. In a come-from-behind mode early here in Lubbock, which Hadnot takes the fake, and Gardere immediately trying to tie it up, but he overthrows Johnny Walker. Coverage from the left cornerback, Ronald Ferguson, on the Horns' leading receiver, and it'll be 2nd and 10. Phil Brown, Butch Hadnot, the A and B backs, the Cash twins and Walker, the seniors from San Antonio, with Johnson, Miller, Smith, Boyd, and Thomas up front. Texas, a much improved offensive team, really ever since the last drive, which won the Oklahoma game for them. 49 points against Arkansas the next week, 52 against SMU last week. And on the draw, Hadnot wrapped up by Mike Licio, the right defensive end. Third and long for the Longhorns.
Well, right now, Texas Tech is really pumped up.
Here's that Red Raider defense. Washington, Petty, Phelps, and Licio. With Weatherspoon, Wingo, and Rowe, outstanding linebacking for it. In the secondary, Ferguson, Walker, Dubisky, and Tracy Saul. Texas needs 10 on third down. Call it a long 9. And Gardere underneath Fred Petty, the nose tackle. Welcome to Lubbock, Texas.
What a great move by Fred Petty. He's on the nose. He comes all the way around the center, gets strong rush. He just breaks through and drops him for a loss.
One of the top punters in the country. Conference leading Alex Waits, ready to kick to Tracy Saul. Red Raiders should get outstanding field position. The wind behind Waits, and it's from the 36-yard line that Saul returns for about 3 or 4 on a 49-yard effort by Alex Waits.
Well, let me tell you a couple things. First of all, you play this game on emotion. And if you're Texas Tech right now, you've got great emotion. You've scored. Your defense came out and held them. Now your offense has got great field position. But if you're a Texas Longhorn, the first thing you have to do is get into the flow. Get your defense playing well. Go back to your game plan that has been established. Don't abandon that, and don't panic.
From the 39, Sears, the fullback, pushing forward off tackle for about 3. Anthony Curl, weak side linebacker. First Longhorn to make a hit. Here's today's Southwest Airlines team must. Texas Tech protecting Gill well enough on that first series to play bombs away into the wind.
That's right. They played bombs away into the wind. And, of course, force turnovers and capitalize on them. That's very, very important for them today.
4 yards for Shane Sears on first down. And on the draw, it is Lynn. Not much there, maybe one. Tommy Jeter, the junior from Deer Park. Right defensive tackle was there for Texas. Now the Texas team must.
Well, first of all, remember that 3rd and 26. They just had a 3rd and 9 that was huge. Forget about Houston next week. Don't make the preparations. The Cotton Bowl comes through Texas Tech, and that's today's game. And continue the balanced offensive attack, running and passing.
At 3rd and 26, of course, the situation last year when Gill hooked up with Anthony Manyweather for the game winner in Austin. This Texas defense has been phenomenal, stopping third downs lately. And they stopped this one, too, despite the late surge by Anthony Stinnett along the sideline. Coverage from Mark Berry. But the Horn defense holds on this third down, and it's a punting situation for the Raiders.
Well, that's a little bit of a mistake by Stinnett. You have got to get first down yardage. When you make that out pattern, the quarterback is looking at the flags just like the wide receiver is, and you have got to get to the first down markers on that type of a play.
Redshirt freshman from Mansfield, Mike DeLagerheim. Will kick to Chris Samuel, standing at his 29. Van Malone gave chase with the pressure and a very short kick. Finally with a little Red Raider roll to the 35. So the wind helps the Horns, who trail 7-0 here in Lubbock. Video is proud to present America's newest postseason bowl game, the Blockbuster Bowl. Live from Joe Robbie Stadium in Fort Lauderdale, Florida. The bowl game by the beach is sure to become one of America's hottest postseason games. So make plans to join us on December 28th at 7 Central Time for the first annual Blockbuster Bowl. 7-0 Red Raiders. Horns for their second offensive possession from their 35. A roaring partisan Red Raider crowd in Lubbock today. And the give is to Butch Hadnot. Not a whole lot off right tackle. Fred Petty and Stephon Weatherspoon were there to greet the true freshman, Butch Hadnot, the cousin, of course, of former Red Raider great James Hadnot, who was in the stadium today. And a guy, Dave, that the Red Raiders at one point thought they had recruited to come here to Lubbock.
Yes, they did. change my mind.
You give him a verbal commitment, which is what eventually ends up on paper that counts, and that's why he's an Austin. Dragged down Fred Petty with his second big stop for a loss for the Red Raiders.
I want to tell you something. Fred Petty, I watched him the last play come down the line and make the tackle. This time he goes around the center and comes down the line and makes the second tackle. Now he goes away from the plays, right over the nose, comes back, look at the reaction. Now it's a little bit of a delay, so he has time to come across to pick him up. But boy, Fred Petty, he may be the force in the middle of that this Tech Raider team's been looking for.
He averaged 16 sacks in 2 junior college seasons. On 3rd and 11, a lot of time for Gardere, and broken up by Ronald Ferguson. It was intended for Johnny Walker.
Well, that's one Ferguson could have had. Had it in his hands. Great defensive one-on-one coverage. Right down across the middle. Boy, that's the difference between winning and losing many times.
Waits again with that win to kick the Saul at his own 21. And he absolutely nails this one. This is all the way to the end zone. 65 yards for Alex Waits. And as long as he punts with the wind, he's capable of a 65-yarder plus every single time. Red Raiders will start from their 20 with a 7-0 lead when we return after these messages from Phillips 66. Enter today. Texas Tech scored on their 3rd play from scrimmage, 79 yards, Gill to Blackshear, and it's 7-0. 9 minutes and 39 seconds in the first quarter, and the Raiders did their huddling on the sideline. They go right to work from the 20. Huge game in Austin last year for Gill. Pitch to Anthony Lynn. Brian Jones from middle linebacker. Great early penetration. And Lynn chased out after a gain of maybe 1. It's a homecoming for Jones back in his hometown of Lubbock, where he played at Dunbar High School.
Of course, wearing that famous number 60 for Texas.
Tommy Novus, Red Hager. Nope, wear number 60 unless they think there's something special in Austin. And the Texas defense, really with the exception of only the one play, has looked like the best in the conference. Their ranking coming into this game. Gill 2nd and 9, pressure threw off his back foot, and almost an interception opportunity for Mark Berry. It was intended for Lloyd Hill, who's been out several weeks with an ankle problem, the true freshman high school All-American from Odessa Permian. As we said, Texas has been unbelievable when it's been 3rd down ever since that Colorado game.
Especially look at those, like you said, the last 4 games, 4 conversions, 4, 3, and 1. That's just phenomenal.
Most of the time last week, SMU gained nothing or lost yardage on 3rd down. Gill chased by Mark Steed and wrapped up as he delivers, and that will be an illegal forward pass. He was throwing to a lineman. Charlie Biggers, the right tackle, was the nearest Red Raider to that flutter ball from Gill.
I thought I saw a clip called on Texas Tech that time. Now, that's a pass play. That was a preliminary signal that I saw the referee give was a clip.
Flipping, offense, refused, 4th down.
Well, you're right, as always, but he still threw it to his right tackle.
Well, I thought he was going to get called for grounding the ball, because you're right, he threw it to one of the offensive linemen. But a clip.
But Alexander, our referee today, and DeLagerheim, who got nothing on his first attempt, will kick to Chris Samuels. And equally short from the 41, a return of 1, but phenomenal field position for a Texas offense, which has yet to move against the Texas Tech defense. This this Texas team, if they are going to break through and get back to the Mobile Cotton Bowl, has got to start winning on the road. They also have to go to Waco. They've got A&M at home, Houston at home. They have to play at TCU, and as you can see, they've had trouble here in Lubbock ever since 1960 when Texas Tech joined the conference.
Look at the rest of them. They win everywhere else except those first ones.
Gardere through the air, and that ball bobbled along the side by Phil Brown, the intended receiver. Redshirt freshman from Commerce. Coverage from Charles Rowe, the weak side linebacker. A first check of the Dr. Pepper scoreboard. And what a huge Navy.
That is a big surprise. Navy 10-10 Notre Dame at half.
2nd and 10 for Texas. Draw play to Brown. Petty wraps him up again after a gain of maybe 2.
So far, this may be Fred Petty's game of his life. I mean, to tell you, he is going around the center and making those backside tackles, and he's made 4 or 5 so far in these first few series. They have got to contend with him coming around backside.
There's a Red Raider sack leader with 4, counting 1 today, and this is the third down opportunity for Texas. They need 9. Gardere looking right. He's got Cash there. He's got Walker, and it's too tall for Johnny Walker. Ryan Dubisky, the strong safety, with the coverage, and again the Horn offense stalled in first gear here in the first quarter.
Well, everyone thinks that you should take the wind if you're a passing team, but let me tell you what happens when a quarterback sets back there and he throws the ball. A lot of times, if he has the wind behind him, the ball has a tendency to float, and that's what it looks like is happening to Gardere. He's not drilling the ball in there. The ball's floating away from his wide receivers.
Waits not only can go for great distance, he's also got touch, and he can hang up a wedge like this one and try and pin Texas Tech inside the 10, and that is precisely what he does. So the Red Raiders from their 4-yard line will take over. The excitement and hard-hitting drama of postseason college football action just around the corner, so make plans to join Raycom Sports and Entertainment for the Freedom Bowl, live from Anaheim, California, December 29th, 7 p.m. Central Time. A lot of bowl anticipation around this Texas team. The Peach Bowl, among others, at Jones Stadium today. Texas Tech has no bowl hope for the record of 2-6, but they can sure determine where some folks go for the rest of the season. Second team backfield is in, and this is Donald Marshall, the true freshman from Grand Prairie, grabbed by the face mask by Lance Gunn, the strong safety, and he drew flags from everywhere.
And now the determination whether it is the inadvertent one or the flagrant one. There's the call, the face mask. Let's take another peek at it here and watch it. Is this flagrant or is this inadvertent? I think he took his hand off. To me, that would be a 5-yard one.
Yeah, you didn't see Marshall's helmet whip back violently as you usually see if it's a 15-yard line.
And let me tell you, as a defensive player, there's a real tendency to hold on to that thing, because I've done that a few times. But he took his hand. Once he had the hand on the face mask, he took it off.
5 yards, and that's why they booed. At the conclusion of today's game, Dave and I will announce the Southwest Airlines player of the game. Keep that in mind along with us. 8-minute mark of the first quarter. 7-0 Texas Tech. And since their 79-yard touchdown bomb to Blackshear, neither team with even a semblance of offense. This carry by Louis Sheffield, the backup fullback from San Antonio Wheatley, out across the 10-yard line. On what was first down and 5, a couple of yards. Tommy Jeter, right defensive tackle, with the stop.
And this is a tough decision for Spike Dykes. He's got about 3rd down and about 2.5 yards to go. 2 yards, you're saying.
Second down.
Excuse me, 2nd down, about 2.5 yards to go. Now, do you drive the ball trying to get the first down, or do you throw that thing up? Me, I throw it up.
And Anthony Stinnett is the lone wideout. Bottom of your screen. And the horns got caught in anticipation of a blitz. So a couple of penalties helping the Red Raiders out of a hole from their 4-yard line.
And let me tell you what Jamie Gill did that time. Came up to the line, changed the snap count, emphasized like the second count, and drew him off sides and gets the free first down. Watch here. There's the emphasis right there. Now watch. Hut. See that emphasis on that second one? Boy, defensive linemen, coaches will kill them when they go on sound and not movement.
You saw Gunn come up from his safety spot, and you also saw Tommy Jeter right over the nose of center Brad Elam, the steer who drew the flag. So 1st and 10, the Raiders from their 16-yard line keep it on the ground to Donald Marshall. Squirms forward for a couple. Shane Brunette with his first tackle of the day, the fine sophomore from Oregon.
You call him a fine sophomore. He is an outstanding sophomore. Brunette is 81. Watch this. Fight inside. Nice block right there. He picks up the block, fights off, comes outside, and makes the tackle. That's a plus play for a defensive lineman. When you can fight off, stop the trap inside, slide out, and make that tackle. What a career he has ahead of him.
A lot of folks would be surprised if he's not an All-American by the time he leaves Austin. Inside give, flags down, and no play. Lewis Sheffield took the handoff, but the whistles had already blown.
Dead ball, illegal procedure, offense.
And in addition to Bud Alexander, the rest of his officiating crew today in Lubbock. We talked about the effect that the wind has on passers. What about on pass catchers? Because unless you wear gloves, I guess sometimes even if you do wear gloves, it's got to be in the back of their mind that anything on a line is really going to sting them.
Oh boy, I can tell you that. But most pass receivers, they concentrate so well on the ball that they don't think about that smack into the hands.
Still on the rollout, 2nd and 12. Again going deep for Blackshear, and he turns and makes the grab at midfield. Well, I tell you what, you can't fault Brady Cavness here. He had coverage. This is just an unbelievable adjustment by Blackshear.
It really is. The thing that really caught Cavness is that he didn't look back until the last minute and see the way the ball was thrown almost behind him. And Blackshear had zeroed in on the ball a little bit earlier.
But his heel looked like it might have been out of bounds. First down from midfield, and Marshall goes nowhere as Brian Jones comes up along with Giles to make the stop. Big plays, once again the formula for Texas Tech.
That kind of reminded me of 3rd and 26 last year. Same rollout play, same side of the field. Ooh. How's that for 3 completions, 116 yards?
Back to the big factor, though, the fact that he has time to throw. Raiders gave up 10 sacks to Miami last week. Flags down as this one is incomplete. And another flag down. Merriweather was the intended receiver. Richard over there in the coverage along with Cavness, and we've got 2 flags, one at midfield and one at the point where the ball came down.
I think you're going to see holding on the first flag and interference on the second flag, but my first question is are they picking on Grady Cavness? He was injured all week, and he's a great football player. It's tough when you are injured as a defensive back in comparison to, say, a defensive lineman. Lineman can go with a nagging, a bruise, a pulled muscle, but boy, when you're in those coverage positions, you have got to be at top speed.
Good ball, illegal procedure, offense.
Spike Dykes a little bit exercised because the ruling is the whistle was before the snap, illegal procedure, a dead ball foul, and so there was no interference because technically there was no play.
Absolutely. That's a good interpretation of that rule. The actual penalty is assessed before the play started.
So 2nd down and 14 for Tech. Merriweather in motion. Bill on the roll. Chase incomplete, intended for Anthony Stinnett, the junior transfer from Monday. And Cisco Junior College, he was covered by Mark Berry. And 3rd and 14, another third down for the Texas defense.
Well, one of the things that they're doing to try to give Gill a little more time is using that rollout where they actually move the pocket strong side. He rolls to the wider side of the field and tries to pick up his receivers downfield. They had such a difficult time giving him time to pass last week that this is obviously an adjustment that they have made.
He didn't even have time to roll last week. Byron Hooper went in motion. Gill again for Blackshear and just overthrown at the 20. 3 defenders were there that time, but it still was very close to a catch for Rodney Blackshear.
I'm not sure that ball didn't touch his fingers. It looked as if it went just off his outstretched fingers. But boy, has Jamie Gill been effective into the wind.
So 4th and 14 to Lagerheim for a 21.5-yard average into this win. Samuels at his 30. And this is easily his best effort. Samuels from the 23. And a flag down. Ben Kirkpatrick made the special teams hit for the Red Raiders. We wait to see the indication. Mark Neese also down there for Tech. Busy first quarter for the entire officiating crew today. And a long first quarter. We still have 4:38 to go.
There's the signal. That's a clip. Boy, that hurts your return team. You want to start with that ball outside the 20-yard line. They're going to be inside the 20-yard line.
So Texas won the toss, decided to take the win, and obviously it has not hurt Texas Tech at all when they've had the ball, except for punting.
Well, it hasn't, but I'll tell you this. So many things can happen when you have that wind advantage that this is very early, and it still is going to play a big factor in this football game.
Time of possession with the wind at Texas. Less than 4 minutes. They haven't come close to mounting a drive here in the first quarter. And after the clip, they start from their 12-yard line. Gardere to Samuels. It's actually one of the better gains of the day for Texas. Matt Wingo, the middle linebacker. And again, Fred Petty combining for the South. This Texas Tech defensive unit so much more emotional today. And you'd think, well, why not last week? Miami, a higher rated team. The reason this is the game. Once every 2 years, Texas comes here, and it is the event in Lubbock. Adrian Walker skirting left in, brought down by Charles Rowe. Orange will face 3rd and about 5.
And I can only echo what Don Buck said yesterday. He's the equipment man here for Texas Tech. He said, if you can't get up against Texas and play football against them, then you ought to find something else to do.
And Spike Dyke's word, if you don't get excited for Texas, you don't have a pulse.
Oh, everybody, this is the game that everybody shoots for. Everybody loves to play Texas.
Gardere with an audible as Johnny Walker comes in from the top of your screen to hear it. And Gardere looking for Walker. Not enough time. Scrambles. And has maybe a Texas first down. Nice job of ad-libbing by Gardere.
Well, Fred Petty had him in the backfield and just missed him. But excellent penetration. You know, this offensive line of Texas is just an outstanding offensive line. They usually give Gardere a lot of time. They're all big. They're all seasoned. They push everybody around. Petty gets that late flurry. There you see him come through. He just can't hold on. There's Curl in there. He doesn't get him. Washington. And Gardere picks up the first down.
Option. Adrian Walker turns it up. Another Horn first down. At the 38 where Mike Licio makes the tackle. This option series, something that Texas unveiled seriously this year for the first time last week.
I thought that was an interesting comment that David McWilliams made yesterday to you about the amount of offense. They're still putting the offense in 6 games into the season. He said with the option, what are we up to 90% now of their offense is in.
Also interesting what Dyke said. He says, you look at Texas on film, it's like they take the 4 best plays of every attack anyone has ever used, and it's just a smorgasbord. Flag down as Samuels runs out of bounds, chased by Sammy Walker. Penalty plague first quarter for Texas continues on a motion call.
What coaches do when they feel their team is out of rhythm, they go back to what they do best. I'm sure David McWilliams has decided, hey, we have got to establish the run. We've got to get out there. We've got to drive for some first downs and just get the emotion back on our side of the field.
Markoff is going to put them back inside there at 35 at the 33. 2 minutes and 32 seconds in the first quarter. Be sure to stay tuned for halftime when we will introduce the Phillips 66 Southwest Conference Player of the Week. Samuels and Walker in the game of the backfield. They put Samuels in the slot. And Gardere still looking for Johnny Walker, and it's deflected by Mike Licio.
I want to tell you, this is one thing that Texas Tech was unable to do against Miami all day, and that's get pressure on the quarterback. Licio, number 91, on the left of your screen. See, comes all the way around the block right here. And watch this, just gets the arm in there. Gardere has to actually pull the ball down at the last second. Boy, they're coming off the ball, I mean, full speed, this Texas Tech team.
Here's the sophomore from Lake Highlands in Dallas. Gardere yet to complete a pass. He is 0 for 5. And more flags. He let the play clock go all the way down to 0. They'll mark 5 more.
Delay, offense.
I want to tell you something. Texas is completely out of sync right now. They're a little bit rattled. They've got a young quarterback out there. He's just a sophomore. He needs to take a deep breath, get his composure back, and lead this football team. And look at that. When a coach stands cross-legged like that, I want to tell you, that's when you don't want to be standing there because he is not a happy camper today. Look at that stance. Oh, boy. And you see how nobody stands around him? He's standing all by himself, kicking a little bit of the grass there, just thinking.
With a couple of exceptions, aren't most of these penalties concentration penalties?
They really are. Their lack of concentration is what they are. Whenever you see, a quarterback has to look up at that 25-second clock and be very aware of that as he plays the game. There you see the penalty situation. 4 penalties. All of them have been big penalties at inopportune times.
Second and 20 from the 28. Clock rolls inside at 2:10 in the first quarter. Raiders scored on the 3rd play of the game. Texas yet to threaten. This time, good protection. Gardere deep left side, still without a completion. Off the hand of Johnny Walker with coverage from Sammy Walker. And none of the Walkers are related. Adrian, Johnny, or Sammy.
This is Johnny Walker, number 1. Great speed. Watch his out move. It's just off his fingertips. Actually, the defender takes the inside position. That's Sammy Walker. You can see how close that ball is. Just about a reach away.
And if you wonder why they keep looking for Johnny Walker, he had the best game of his career against Tech last year. 8 catches, 142 yards. Keith Cash in motion. There's the pressure from Licio. Gardere free, will scramble, got a key block, but not close for the first down. A flag is down in the Tech secondary.
I thought that Texas Tech called timeout before the play started. I saw one official come in waving his hand saying timeout, and I don't think the other official heard it. But I'm almost sure that Tech called timeout just prior to the play. There is a flag way deep in the secondary.
Call timeout before the ball is snapped. Therefore, we have no play, no flag.
That's exactly it.
Yeah, one of the defensive backs turned to the official right next to him, said timeout. He called a quick timeout, and I saw that official walk in. Of course, they have to relay it, and with 50,000 people here, it's a little bit noisy.
Were you like extremely heavily penalized as a player? Is that why you're always so in tune with the officials?
No, the officials were my friends.
So again, Texas will look at 3rd down and 20. What do they need to do to get some semblance of rhythm? Because they've tried several things, none of which have worked during the first quarter.
Well, this is the time when coaches tell you go back to the basics. They need to run some power plays, get behind those big offensive linemen, blow them off the line, see if they can get 2 or 3 first downs together. Nothing tricky, just come out there and do what they do best. But they're a little bit rattled right now.
Size-wise, this is one of the bigger Texas teams they've had in a while. Linemen up front averaging nearly 280 pounds, but the quickness that the Tech defensive line has had has been a bigger factor than you see the matchup offensively for Tech, defensively for Texas. 3rd and 20. Fans on their feet. No pressure, finally has the completion, but Terry Cash will be gang tackled near the 40-yard line. There was no way he was going to be close for a first down.
No, that was a decision to go underneath and just pick up a few yards, Cash that big target at tight end. But it's interesting, this is a prevent defense that Tech is playing. They're saying, come on out here, you just catch it right in front of us. Gardere finds them. I think right now what Texas is trying to do is get some pass completions, get back in that offensive rhythm, get some things going.
Well, it took 13 minutes and 15 seconds for the first completion of the day for Peter Gardere. More flags as Waits booms another one to Saul at the 12. And out of one tackle, then driven back.
That flag was thrown right on the line of scrimmage. A lot of times that's somebody lining up in the neutral zone. Oh boy. Now picture this penalty. That ball was going to have them on about the 11-yard line. It's just a 5-yard penalty. See what the difference is where Texas Tech takes over the ball. That's the mark of this penalty.
David McWilliams, who finally sold his house here in Lubbock after 4 years on the market.
What did he say to you? I took a big hit.
Short-term gain, long-term hit.
Yeah, that's what it was.
5-yard penalty.
Familiar refrain in the real estate market lately.
The one thing coaches do not like is when they make mental mistakes, when players make mental mistakes, lining up wrong, motion, things like that. They can take and accept the aggressive penalties, but they hate the lack of concentration.
And it makes something that Dykes said yesterday look like a bit of prophecy. He thought that Texas might be, in his words, a little bit right today. This is great scheduling as far as Texas Tech is concerned, coming between Oklahoma, Arkansas, and before Houston, and the rest of it would finish. Well, right about where Saul fielded the first one, but he has some room this time, and Lance Gunn will drag him down at the 23. It's really a net gain of about 13 yards after the flag. Texas Tech takes over a minute 24 in the first quarter. It's going to be close to a record attendance year at Jones Stadium. They're averaging well over 45,000 counting the crowd today. Expected to be in excess of 50,000, which would be SRO. And after really pleasant weather all week, it is just miserable today. Wind chill in the high teens. Sheffield out of the tackle from Granette and then belted out of bounds at the 30. Nice first down yardage. Ryan Jones finally chased him out. Now, Texas Tech, again, we've seen a couple times in the first quarter, they will do their huddling on the sideline and then just go right to work when they get there. Is that to deny Texas a chance to make adjustments?
Absolutely. It keeps you from making those defensive substitutions in your secondary where you go with the extra defensive back and pull out a linebacker.
Second and 3, inside handoff, and Sears will not have the first down. He's up near the 33. And again, Brian Jones there for the tackle. Sears, a senior from Pasadena, Rayburn, blue collar type of fullback, short yardage specialist. 3rd and 1. And the Raiders will bring Blackshear out. Don Hasley and Steve Carr, extra tight ends in.
Well, this is not a fooling play. This is just straight power on power play.
Well, it will be, but first still with the timeout. And that is the second taken by the Raiders here in the first half.
Well, they had to take a timeout. They were down to 1 second on the 25-second clock. And look at that. Look at that reaction. Supposed to get up there and run that play. Now, I want to make one thing clear. Texas now, their coaching staff knew the importance of this game, obviously, because when David McWilliams was talking yesterday, he said, I told those players I don't care what you say about Houston, but end the comment with, yes, but we play Texas Tech this week.
Very concerned about looking ahead to what looms as a big showdown in the conference, but we get a chance to check the passing ratings this week, and Texas Tech right there below the Cougars of Houston. So if the Longhorn defense fails to pass this test today, they can only wonder what's in store for them next week. And Texas, on the other hand, an improving offensive team. Today, notwithstanding, they really don't look at all the way they have in the last several weeks. Lots of credit to an emotional Red Raider crowd and team here in the first quarter with 38 seconds still to go. So again, 3rd and 1. And Gill sneaking forward probably has the first.
You know, I know that looks like just a little insignificant play. I want to tell you what Gill did. When he came out, he kind of turned back and forth like he was going to call it an audible, and I think he almost caught Texas off guard with that turn back and forth.
He did get the first. 32 seconds in the first quarter. Haven't seen Robert Hall, the redshirt freshman from Dallas Carter, here in the first quarter. Dykes going with the hot hand, not surprisingly. And also going with the experience factor. This is Sheffield, and he is rammed backwards by Lance Gunn.
Boy, you talk about a hit. That was a hit by Lance Gunn, number 16, the sophomore. I mean, he flat out stuck him.
Now that's a collision between a 230-pound running back and a 214-pound safety, and the safety wins hands down. We're done with 1 quarter in Lubbock, 7-0, Red Raiders, and we're back after these messages from your local station. This is the Raycom Sports and Entertainment Network. It's on top 7-0. This basically is a one-play game so far. The 79-yard pass on the 3rd play of the game from Gill to Blackshear. 2nd and 7 as the Raiders go with that 30-mile-an-hour north breeze at their backs for the first time. And Gill wasting no time. Again, deep, again, Blackshear, and no flag despite the howls from the Red Raiders. Mark Berry had the coverage and was beaten.
I'm telling you right now, the howls may be accurate, because I thought when Berry dove, I thought he hit the back of Blackshear's legs. Let's watch it right here. See right there. See the hands up on the feet? Oh, boy. That's tough. There's the hands on the back. And look how close the ball is. That could throw off a little bit of a stride. That ball was only 6 inches away from being caught.
After Berry was beaten, he did the right thing. You know, much better to get flagged than give up the touchdown. And that was very obviously interference. They had a right to boo. 3rd and still 7. Gill in trouble, away from Giles, but not Dronette and not Brian Jones. And the Texas defense finally giving Gill something to think about. In the first quarter, 35 total yards for Texas, only 2 first downs. Most of the yardage, of course, for Tech on that one play, the scoring play, and the time of possession about even. So after the non-flag, Tech will have to kick it away. De Lagerheim finally with the wind, and Samuels at his 29. Lowe doesn't take full advantage of that gale. And Samuels jukes his way to some room. And up the side, not a bad return at all. Nicely done by Samuels, the senior from San Antonio. And De Lagerheim, the punter, was the man who knocked him out.
And I can tell you now, Texas has had a chance to regroup on the sideline. They talked about what has gone wrong. They're all taking a deep breath. They've had their coaches talk to them. Now I think you'll see a difference. I think you'll see a much more poised Texas offensive team come out here.
Texas offensively, the middle of the pack in the conference. Tech defensively, almost right at the bottom. They're 8th. This is Hadnot. Lots of room and lots of speed, and he's into Red Raider territory. They will mark him out at the 45-yard line. Saul from free safety prevented a touchdown.
And this is a sprint draw. See the way the back slides over? They get those 2 big linemen up in there. That's Johnson and Miller. They just open that hole up there. Hadnot just sprints through it. Boy, now that will start giving your offense a little bit more confidence. One of those freshmen that we've talked a lot about on this Texas team.
Easily the biggest play of the day for Texas. So they keep it on the ground to Hadnot. And through the middle for maybe 3 yards. You know, you made a comment in the Arkansas game about who he reminded you of. You're not the only one. His initials, as dubbed by his teammates, are now EC. As in Earl
Campbell, of course. Well, that's the benchmark that every Texas running back is graded against. How's he compared to old Earl? There won't be many Earl Campbells come along on any team.
Gardere on the option. And an ankle tackle by Matt Wingo. McWilliams says Gardere, of course, mainly thought of as a throwing quarterback, is not bad running the option.
Well, I thought when they put the option in, I thought that was Jimmy Saxton's baby. I mean, he seems like a much better rushing quarterback. However, Gardere had such success with it, all of a sudden it's his baby too.
They said the other factor is that Saxton is in the game. They know he's going to run the option, so they want some doubt in their mind concerning Gardere. A lot of time. Delivers, caught, and maybe a first down. We'll have to wait for the spotting of the ball. It was the tight end Stephen Clark, the senior from New Orleans, making just his second grab of the year. And it is a first down.
Had to make it to the 35-yard line. I don't think he made it by any additional yardage.
Strung together, back-to-back first down. And their best penetration of the day so far. Still on the ground. Phil Brown. Look at him weave inside the 20.
Boy, did he get a great block up front. I thought it was Jeff Boyd or Stan Thomas up in there, those 2 big offensive linemen, but he got a great block. See if we can see it. Boyd is 58, Thomas is 51, right? Well, just prior to that, but he makes a nice cut also. And that's a sign of a good running back. Set up those blockers and just find a way, weave a way down there.
17 yards for Brown. From the 18, Gardere bobbled it. And the timing thrown off, Hadnot. Finally swarmed under by 10 black jerseys. That's how many it took. First man there was Wingo. Second man there was Petty. Gardere averting disaster on that snap.
Boy, he did. He fumbled the snap off the center. And that could have been just a crucial play. He got the control back of it and handed it off.
More yards on this drive than Texas had in the entire first quarter. So obviously the key to the game is you have to be going into the wind to have the offense.
A lot of quarterbacks Telecast can throw better into the wind because they throw more direct. But this has been all runs.
Until now, Gardere finally finds Johnny Walker and just stretches inside the 10 in the grasp of Ronald Ferguson, the senior from Sugar Land. Now they needed the 8, and they're still going to lack 1 on 3rd down. And trailing by 7, obviously a huge play on this drive.
Yeah, you think Rich Hadnot will get it?
Hadnot the lone setback. Brown slot right, Walker wide right, Keith Cash wide left, and Gardere changes the play. Alley-oop for Walker, not quite. Ball was thrown on a line, led him too much, and the Horns apparently may settle for 3, but the huddle out there has a bunch of guys pointing toward the Tech goal, as in let's go for it on 4th down, and I think they will go for it on 4th down.
Well, David McWilliams and Lynn Amity had a lot of confidence in Gardere. They let him call off that play and go for the big one.
Successfully on 4th down. They have been penalty plagued today. Big plays by Blackshear, and they've only sacked Gill once.
That is a story.
You know, Mike Romo's got to look at that and just marvel. He was on his back 8 times last week. Texas Tech from their 11. Gill chased. Manny Weather, the intended receiver, as Stanley Richard picks it off.
Stanley Richard was like a center fielder on that play. He saw that all the way. When Gill rolls strong side, the only person he can go to is Blackshear on the sideline. Now you may see the feet of Richard. He's way up the top, and watch how far he comes. He's not even in the screen yet. There he is, center fielder for this Texas team. That senior leadership that we talked about comes a long way to give Texas back the football in great field position.
And had the ball had enough on it, Manny Weather had a couple steps. 2nd of the year for Richard, 11th of his career. He's all alone in 3rd place for Texas. Play action, Gardere rolling, and wrapped up by Weatherspoon. They say no fumble. He was down.
Oh boy, I'm going to tell you something. I saw that ball come out early. If I was a Texas Tech Red Raider, I might dispute this because I thought that ball came out early.
Stephon Weatherspoon with a career game last week, 17 tackles.
Watch, 13 is Weatherspoon. Now watch when the ball comes out. Right there. See it coming out right on right of your screen. Right there. See, it's already out.
Ball's already behind Gardere.
Yeah, would have been a fumble.
Instead, it's a loss of 6. A lot of time for Johnny Walker, and he got it. Ronald Ferguson dropped the interception. Johnny Walker glad to accept the gift.
Boy, what a huge turnover that was. The turnover and a sure interception. Great concentration by Johnny Walker to just continue to concentrate on the ball. But watch this, Ferguson right in his hands. Boom. Now look at Walker. Turn right back, come back to the ball. That's great concentration.
Walker made in the Arkansas game, and a lot like another near interception by Ferguson in this game. He's dropped a couple. They got 15. They need 1 on 3rd down. Out of the full house, hurdling for the first is Samuels. They go to the senior, and he comes through.
I could promise you that time Gardere was not going to call an audible. sure he got instructions on the sideline. Call it when you think you see it, but third down and 1, you get the first down.
Which brings up the question of their play selection going into the end zone on third down and the option run on fourth down. Did that reverse what you would have done?
Absolutely. I would have run that ball twice in there. Just short running plays just to pick up that 1 yard.
Samuels trying to turn it up. Boy, and he gouges out about 7 yards where it looked like he had nothing, and the strong safety, Brian Dubisky, had to make the stop.
Charles Rowe hit him in the backfield about 3 yards, in the backfield, and he should have been dropped, but Samuels just continues, keeps that good balance. He's a senior. Remember, we talked about last game we did, all these young freshmen coming in here saying, give the ball to me, give the ball to me, and Samuels saying, let me carry it a few times.
Weaving. First down inside the 20, and again, it takes 4 Red Raiders to bring him down.
Now, Dave, when you talk about this offensive line of Texas, the first person I think of is Stan Thomas, 51. Watch him just pin his man outside. He just swallows his man, drives him all the way out there. Got a little hand on him there. But again, in tight, he's a great drive blocker. He's a hawk.
We've got a 73-pound advantage on a man he just swallowed up, as you said, Marcus Washington. And it is first down at the 19. Still on the ground, Hadnot. Nice cutback. The Texas backs making a lot of that cutback move on the last couple of drives. Tackle made by Brad Phelps on Hadnot. Busy here in the first half.
I can assure you this is a basic Texas drive. Nothing fancy. Don't try to go for the home run. Just drive the ball. Establish good offensive play selection.
This is what they intended to do from the outset and were unable to until the second quarter. Gardere to the end zone and Keith Cash at the 1-yard line.
Surprised me, but when you've got Keith Cash out there and the size and leaping ability, he's 6'4", he can go up after football. This is coming right at you. Our cameras just show you what it's like to play defensive back. There's the throw. Now watch Cash come into the screen there. Got that feet with his foot down in bounds. Just an excellent catch.
Excellent shot by Tom Cox over there. First and goal. Samuels has the Texas touchdown. Say about seniors. Richard sets up the possession with the interception. He gains by Samuels, and he finishes the drive.
Well, that's the biggest difference between last year and this year is that great senior leadership.
In addition, of course, to the catch by Cash.
Absolutely.
Michael Pollitt, perfect on extra points this year, and still is. He is 18 for 18, and it's a 7-7 game.
This is just basic blow them off the line football. It's a slant play. Come right in there. You use your fullback. You just let that running back just find the seam, and he just sneaks through, and that's Samuel's touchdown.
6:55 to go in the half. We are tied in Lubbock. Association with Blockbuster Video is proud to present America's newest postseason bowl game, the Blockbuster Bowl. Live from Joe Robbie Stadium in Fort Lauderdale, Florida, the bowl game by the beach is sure to become one of America's hottest postseason games. So make plans to join us on December 28th at 7 Central Time for the first annual Blockbuster Bowl. And Chris Samuels, resting after his second touchdown of the year, ties it at 7. Low line drive kicked by Pollock is bobbled and finally picked up by Blackshear. He leads the conference on kick returns, and he is met head-on by Stanley Richard at the 24. 7-play scoring drive set up by Richard's interception, finished off by Samuels.
And that's what they needed. Texas needed a scoring drive where they got good offensive play selection, controlled this football game a little bit more, because they were not run on any of the cylinders that they normally run on.
And it's still amazing the team going into the wind has had the advantage. Powell, the strong side linebacker. Got close to a first down.
Let me tell you what Marshall did on that play. He kind of had his head down a little bit. He stumbled. If he'd been able to look up, I think he thought he was going to get hit. This is a little bit of a delay play. So they fake back. Now watch right here. See, he puts his head down right there, and he starts to stumble. If he's able to get his head up and get those feet up, he could have picked up a lot more yardage.
A little bit like Hadnot's story, because Texas at one time had very high hopes of recruiting Marshall to Austin, and a late signee by Texas Tech. And Dyke says he's been even better than they hoped he would be. They hoped he'd be perhaps a future James Gray type running back here.
Well, he picked up 10 yards. That was a nice run.
On first down, Manyweather wide right inside of Stinnett. The draw play fools no one, least of all Tommy Jeter and Shane Burnett up front for Texas. A lot of people starting to make comparisons to the great Leon Fuller defenses which he coordinated late 70s in Texas. And in some ways it's unfair because offenses have changed so much. Don't you agree?
Oh yes, they hit you so much, so many different ways. We've looked at the emergence of this run and shoot. It's awfully hard to defense something like this. Multiple offenses today.
Loss of 1 second and 11. Down goes Gill. Shane Burnett wrapped him up. Texas gets the sack, and Texas Tech has allowed, as you can see here, way more than they did through the entire season last year.
And 2 sacks today. You can't cut a player like Shane Burnett. When I say cut, when that back comes out there and tries to pick him up, you can't cut at his feet because he just steps right over top of you.
Another loss, and it's 3rd and 14. Gill again chased. Got it off, and that one was almost picked off by Anthony Curl, the weak side linebacker. Gill gambling, throwing into heavy coverage intended for Byron Hooper. And that Red Raider offense, which in the first quarter looked pretty potent, looks anything but here in the second quarter.
And they are starting to sputter a little bit now. They can't get any continuity to them. They're not driving the ball well. And you just can't continue to give this ball back to Texas time and time again.
The Lagerheim under heavy pressure, and a fair catch at the 30 for Samuels. 4 minutes and 56 seconds in the first half. 7-7 game. We're back after these messages from Phillips 66. Looking ahead to Houston has their attention.
Oh, I can promise you they have their attention. I think they got their attention on the sideline when their coaches said, hey, listen, we're stinking out the house. We need to put something together, and I think they showed it on that drive.
We look at the wind factor. Gusts above 30, wind chill below 20, with a temperature in the low 40s. Samuels close to a first down as Mike Licio makes the tackle. What are they doing differently to move the ball on the ground here in the second quarter?
I think Notre Dame took back over on that Navy game. They were shocked at half, and they took back over.
Offensive line adjustments?
Yes, they really are. They are, Dave. I was going to mention the fact that they're playing much more solid, basic man-on-man running game, and that's why they're able to run the football the way they are. You see on a play like that, you see the way the running back comes up, takes that ball, makes the adjustment, and when you've got big man on big man, it creates seams, and especially when you're winning the battle of the big men up front.
Which Hadnot picking up the first down. Hadnot, who had averaged 7.1 yards per carry coming into today, broke a 65-yarder against the Mustangs last week. Roy again shows the shiftiness as he reads the holes at the line and may turn this into about a 3-yard gain. Matt Wingo makes making the Red Raider tackle.
And that's another example of that sustaining blocks up front. When you're able to continue your blocking, you don't lose your defensive player, then you can have your backs make those type of adjustments on the run.
Several times here in the quarter we've seen Brown, Samuels, and in this case Hadnot make something out of nothing. On the draw, Hadnot ankle tackle. Lissio's had a big first half. As we pointed out last week, son of former Dallas Cowboy offensive lineman Tony Liscio.
Boy, are they high on him here. Only a sophomore, 6'1", 230. He's got more of the size of an interior lineman, but they use him at the end because he's got great quickness.
Big edge on the ground for Texas. 3rd and 4. And Gardere for the sideline. It is incomplete, intended for Keith Cash. Ball appeared to be there. Cash stretching out, covered by Ferguson and David McFarland off his hands, and it's 4th down.
Boy, and when you think that we have been looking at a Texas team that coming into this game had converted almost 40% of their 3rd down conversions, and this has not been anything like that.
Great test here of the leg strength of weights, and end over end. This one will wobble to the 19. And Brian Dubisky feels it there. 2 minutes, 50 seconds in the second quarter. 7-7 in Lubbock. Barnett, Dave roll. It's 7-7. 2 minutes and 50 seconds to go in the first half. And Dave, a Red Raider offense, which hasn't done much at all here in the second quarter, has time to go into halftime with the lead. But again, pressure makes Gill a hurry to throw, and he underthrows Stinnett in front of Mark Berry.
I think Gill may have gotten hurt on that play. See down and rolling around.
Jamie Gill hit by Shane Dronette at the 4-yard line, and so quickly Robert Hall, the redshirt freshman from Dallas Carter, will get ready.
Boy, and let me tell you how hard that is. First of all, the freshman coming in playing Texas, and he has not been warming up. He's just been standing on the sideline, and now he quickly wants to take 2 or 3 snaps, throw the ball a little bit. Hey, I got to get in this game.
Numbers this year for Hall, and 4 interceptions 2 weeks ago against Rice. He has had really the most positive effect when he's been in the game in terms of his escapability, and as they continue to check Gill flat on his back. When Hall gets in, it's a whole different set of problems for the Texas defense.
Oh, it sure is. He is a much more elusive quarterback on the run, and he's got a good arm. I think what happened to Gill, as I caught him out of the corner of my eye, I think he may have fallen down. I don't think it was a real strong hit by Dronette. I think he more fell hard on the turf. There's a concern on Spike Dykes' face. He knows the importance of Jamie Gill.
Stay with us for halftime. We'll introduce the Phillips 66 Southwest Conference Player of the Week. We'll meet today's GTE Classroom Champion and visit with Alfred White of the NCAA. All this and highlights coming up at halftime. Still 2 minutes and 44 seconds away. Boy, it doesn't look like Jamie Gill has moved. Now, you might remember, if you're a Red Raider fan, 2 weeks ago when he took O.J. Bragance's helmet to the chin, and this obviously a right forearm, wrist, hand problem. This is one battered quarterback. He's had ankle problems. He had the dislocated jaw 2 weeks ago. He's had a knee problem. He's had the flu. And now it looks like he's got a throwing arm problem. So for now, this ball game in the hands of Robert Hall.
And you heard the crowd respond when he went out there. They want to see him do well also.
Hooper in motion. This is 2nd and 10. And on the blitz, Hall got it free to Blackshear. Rodney Blackshear to the 46, fumbles the ball, and Texas has come up with the recovery.
Texas did a loop on the play, and they got great penetration right up the gut. Hall stayed back there at last second. Watch the pressure that Hall has on him. You'll see how fast it was there. Now on this ball, you have got to put the ball away. And Rodney Blackshear has got to realize that you don't run with it out here and fall down and fumble the ball. Right there, the ball is raked out. You have to credit the defensive back also.
Richard, who has an interception today, causes this fumble, and Lance Gunn, his partner at safety, comes up with him.
Yeah, you see the way that Richard reached in there, tackled the ball, and ripped it clear.
Texas Tech will use its final timeout of the half as Gunn gets the congratulations. +3, the turnover ratio for the Horns this year.
And what a comparison last year to this year. That is a negative. That means that they gave the ball up more than they took it back. And you see the +3.
Now, is Dykes arguing that Blackshear was down?
Well, he's upset about something.
Well, it takes a lot to get Spike upset. Makes you wonder if they didn't call the timeout just so he could continue his train of thought with the official before play resumes with 2:27 in the half.
Well, I think what he's doing in calling this timeout, 7-7, you got less than 2.5 minutes left in this football game. He does not want to give up that quick, cheap score.
Time remaining first half, of course, and they continue to check Gill's throwing hand as he makes his way slowly toward the Red Raider locker room.
And we understand he's going to have x-rays of his hand.
Gardere on first down for Johnny Walker. Got it. Very close for another first. Looks like a few inches shy. He made the cut in front of Ronald Ferguson, and the clock stopped with 2:22. Now Texas with plenty of time to go in with their own halftime advantage.
This is a huge emotional time to go in the locker room. If you're Texas and you score, you go in a great lift. If you're Texas Tech and you stop them, you go in fired to the ceiling, fired up.
Inches needed on second down. Flag is down. And the catch is made by Samuels inside the 25, and now we'll see if it counts.
Where that flag was thrown, it was thrown right along the line of scrimmage. They may not have had enough men on the line of scrimmage.
Way too many of those flags for David McWilliams' personal taste during the first half.
I thought when I looked down at that last formation, both wideouts were off the ball, which would have only put 6 men on the line of scrimmage.
So the mark-off is back to the 42 on the 7th Texas penalty.
Second down.
What was second in inches needed, now second down and 6 needed. And the clock rolls to 2:10. Peter Gardere, who was 0 for his first 6, now 6 for his last 8 through the air. And on the draw play, Samuel straight ahead. Would appear to have the first at the 35. He got blasted for his effort. Wingo and Petty combining for the stop. And as was the case in the Arkansas game, Texas calling for Samuels, the veteran, off the bench to make some very key contribution.
I can't understand why Texas is not calling timeout. They have 3 timeouts.
Gardere got away once from Phelps, but not twice. And again, Licio was there.
That is a real surprise to me to let that clock just continue to tick down.
Now they call time with 1:27. But don't they ideally want to leave no time for Tech? They want to score with about 10 seconds to go?
Yes, but you can control the clock on the plays as you get down inside the 15, 20-yard line. That was just a surprise. That last play started with 1:54 seconds, and they actually used 27 seconds on that play, counting the snap time and the time he took to run the play.
In the Southwest Conference, of course, the ineligible Houston Cougars are on top, but because of probation, they can't go to a bowl. So, in effect, Texas the leader. TCU beaten by Baylor plays Houston today, and really playing for their life as far as the Cotton Bowl race is concerned. Baylor the surprise after a slow start. A loss in the tie. A&M with a loss in the tie. It is a 4-team race toward Dallas on New Year's Day, and the front runners are right here in a tie ball game. Getting everything they bargained for and more in the first half from Texas Tech. 2nd and 18. Gardere for Kerry Cash, and he brought it in at the 18.
This is an amazing catch. Tremendous concentration to come across the middle. He didn't catch the ball clean. Watch here. He catches the ball. He kind of sputters, or just kind of falls away. Look where he caught the ball. All the way down by his knee.
Wow. 1st and 10. Draw play. Flags everywhere. And Licio plants Butch Hadnot. The vast majority of these flags about the offensive penalties, and they continue to make it a very busy first half for Bud Alexander. Offsides defensively this time.
That's lining up offsides in the neutral zone. And what Licio is doing is he's on the end away from where they're running. As soon as those two big tackle and guard pull out, he runs right down the line. That's why he's meeting Hadnot right on the line of scrimmage. What you want to do there is you want to bootleg against him and watch him fall.
1st and 5. Clock rolls at 1 minute. And again, Hadnot is buried. Matt Wingo got it.
Boy, you talk about a hello once you get the ball. Wingo looked like he almost took the hand off on that play. Let's see, this is a shot. Look at Wingo, 45, just blitzes right up there. There's the handoff. Boom, hello.
Todd Smith blocking the free safety. It almost looked as if Wingo was past him so fast, Smith never saw him.
He didn't. He never saw him. Wingo had 18 tackles against Miami. This shows why he's got over 109 tackles so far this year.
Well, the second timeout has been taken by the Horns, 53 seconds. And Gardere discussing a 2nd down and 10 from the Raider 18.
We may be getting the start of a rainstorm. It's pretty threatening around us, doesn't it?
Well, off to the north, it's been slowly but surely creeping our way, and I think it's that 70% chance is going to be a 100% chance in the second half, which may mean get the points right here while you can, even more so for Texas. Over the middle, bobbled and caught. Kerry Cash carrying tacklers down to the 2 with 44 seconds.
Texas Tech gambled that time. They blitzed and left that middle wide open. Now Texas has to hurry a little bit.
They've got that much time before halftime. They've got 1st and goal at the 2. 7-7 game. Hadnot will lose 1. At 35 seconds in the half, Petty and Rowe got him, and the Horns are going to burn that final timeout with 35 seconds.
Boy, when Cash caught that ball across the middle, is that a big play? Tech gambled, they blitzed, they left the middle open. There's Cash. Watch this look in. Again, just bounces off his chest. The ball becomes a lot harder as it becomes colder, and it's just a different feel for those receivers catching it.
Both of his big catches on this drive have been bobbled, but of course the result is what counts, and he brought both of them in. So much attention has been placed on the recruiting years that McWilliams has had and the depth that he's now got on that team with good young talent. But this entire first half has been a senior first half. Richard with an interception causing a fumble. Keith Cash, a huge catch to set up the first touchdown, scored by Samuels, and Kerry Cash with the 2 catches on this drive.
What does said, that's the big difference between last year and this year, is that great senior leadership, depth, and not being hurt. It's really interesting. The only changes that they have made have been just changes due to personnel. No injuries have made changes.
Second and goal at the 3. Alley-oop for Gary Cass. Touchdown, Texas. That's 4 this year. That's 9 touchdown grabs for his career.
I want to tell you, when they write the record books in Texas, they will always remember the alley-oop pass, because we have seen that. How many times have we seen that during his career?
Well, we're going to see it 3 more times. First from the end zone.
Right, now watch this. It's just throw it up high, let him use that height. The defender has his back. He never looks back. You see the concentration there. And here's the isolation. Watch this. The defender never looks back.
Sammy Walker giving up 5 inches in that matchup.
And this is from the lower angle. Again, you see the disadvantage there that Walker has with the height differential that you spoke about. And boy, we've seen that play a lot of times in Mr. Cash's career.
As you could tell from that last shot, the rain has arrived. 70% chance before kickoff. The wind has not abated, and if anything, I think it's picked up since the opening kickoff. And with 31 seconds remaining, Pollock is going to kick into the teeth of both the wind and the rain, and he will not mess with Mr. Black Sheep. Up to the 38 is Shane Sears with 26 seconds and a flag down upon the tackle. The scoring drive for Texas, 8 plays, 46 yards, and Gardere with his 5th touchdown pass of the year.
Now, let me tell you, this is going to be a face mask against Texas. It's going to give them more yardage. It's going to give Tech more yardage. With this wind at his back, they don't have to go a long way for at least a field goal try.
Well, they've got him at the 39. It is the 5-yard mark-off.
Goes down.
And from just shy of the 44, Tech with 26 seconds remaining going with 4 wideouts. And the lone setback is Sheffield. Robert Hall has a man and bobbled and dropped by Anthony Manyweather. 19 seconds.
Boy, he had this ball. Manyweather had this ball. He just falls down. This is the deep back drop here from the coverage. And watch Manyweather right there turn on about the 30-yard line. He just failed to look it in. He tried to catch it against his body. Oh, nice throw by Robert Hall.
Hall on second down has another ball dropped right in the hands of Rodney Blackshear this time. Now, is the fact that these receivers are looking back and getting rain splatters in their eyes having anything to do with these drops?
That's the first thing you would certainly think, but receivers have got to concentrate on the ball. Both those balls were dropped due to a lack of concentration.
And of course, the field will continue to get wet as the day goes on. 13 seconds. This one caught by Stinnett, and he's wrapped up at midfield with 7 seconds. 4 seconds as the Red Raiders desperately try to get to the line. The clock runs out on the first half. And after Tech scored on the 3rd play of the game, 79 yards, Gill to Blackshear, the Horns take the 14-7 edge into the locker room here in Lubbock. Edge in time of possession. And Bill Little of Texas Sports Information staff handing us this note. Of the 178 total yards Tech has, all but 36 of those yards came on 3 plays. The other 28 plays they ran gained a total of 36 yards. It's again a big play attack that Texas has to from last year, from the first half, they have to remember 3rd and 9, which produced the only Texas Tech score.
And certainly did. And the second one, forget Houston. I think that Texas Tech has done a good job of reminding them to forget about Houston. Continue the balanced attack. It's a different balanced attack when you have the wind and when you don't have the wind.
Texas Tech, on the other hand,
well, first of all,
quarterbacks not in the case of Jamie Gill.
No, Jamie Gill went out with an injured hand, play bombs away. Boy, did they do. And we thought with the wind, they did it into the wind. Force turnovers and capitalize on them. That has yet to be a big factor in this game.
Texas Tech awaiting the first half kick. Texas will have the wind in the 3rd quarter. Whether that's a blessing or a curse, we'll find out. Peter Gardere, who was 0 for his first 6, ends up with respectable first half numbers. Michael Pollock will barefoot it to either Scotty Allen or Rodney Blackshear. Tech will go into the wind here in the 3rd quarter. Never seen a game with this much wind where it's been a negative factor.
It's been a factor in the kicking game, but really not in the passing. Both teams have moved the ball well into the wind. I looked quickly to see if Jamie Gill was down there on Texas Tech's sideline. I didn't pick him up.
Well, from the way he was holding his throwing arm when he came off the field, it would take a miracle for him to play in the second half. Pollock riding the breeze through the end zone. Raiders will take over at their 20. And in all likelihood, the rest of the afternoon in the hands of Robert Hall for Texas Tech. Now, when Gill was hurt previously this year, Robert Hall most often has been equal to the task. A little bit to the surprise of Dykes, his quick development is just a freshman.
And those 2 incompletes that he had were dropped. They were both completed passes had the receiver held on.
Hall, great carry out of the fake and then incomplete. It was intended at the 29 for his tight end, Steve Carr. Look at the drive chart for Texas Tech. They score on their 3rd play of the game. That's really the sum total of their offense in the half.
It really is. Look at the number of punts, the interception, the fumble. They have done nothing offensively. As you pointed out, other than those 3 big plays, they have just not done anything offensively.
But because of the big plays, the Texas defense can never relax against this team. Nonetheless, they're up to 3-4 touchdown. Manyweather in motion, 2nd and 10. This time the draw play, and Lewis Sheffield will net maybe 2 as he's brought down by Boone Powell and Brian Jones. And we've got the word from the Tech locker room on Jamie Gill, a cracked bone in his right hand. He is out at least for this game.
And it was on his throwing hand, I believe, so that even compounds that problem for a longer time for Texas Tech. Shades of Leon Clay in TCU.
Isn't it, though? So Robert Hall throwing well behind his intended receiver, Sears, and it will be a punting situation. Again, the Tech offense going nowhere. Quite a load on his shoulders. And here in the 3rd quarter, on the shoulders of Mike DeLagerheim, who just could not deal with kicking into the wind in the 1st quarter.
Well, he's got to kick more line drive on these kicks. You just can't put it up into a 30-mile-an-hour wind and expect it to carry.
Well, he makes a hire out of both of us.
He sure did.
From the 36-yard line. Got a good block by Jason Burleson to spring him all the way down near the 40-yard line. Outstanding return by Samuels. It was keyed by Burleson's block.
Yeah, I was just going to say the wind seemed to have died down, and it did. That ball carried way back there. Now, this is just great effort.
There's the Burleson block right there.
Nice effort there by Samuels. Just to pick up those blockers and just kind of roll downfield. He picked up nice yardage.
Finally brought down by Tracy Saul, and Gardere sets up at the 42-yard line, leading 14-7. Great field position, wind at his back, and on the ground for good yardage on second effort before the fumble was Phil Brown, and it's recovered by the Raiders.
Now that was an interesting fumble because the ball came out forward. It almost looked as if he just squeezed hard on it and just kind of popped out like you just kind of pop out. Watch this play here. I don't know that a defender really caused this fumble. I think he just kind of squeezed on it right in there. Now see, the ball just kind of pops out.
Looked like Mike Licio had a hand on it. It squirted forward like a seed, and Tracy Saul made the recovery.
Well, that's a huge turnover.
And turnovers have been a negative all year long for the Red Raiders. Sheffield, 4 yards on first down. Anthony Curl with the tackle.
And I can promise you on the sideline, they told Robert Hall after that first series, get some offense going. Try to keep our defense off the field. Let's get 2 or 3 first downs. Stay basic.
That could really be an enormous break because Texas with the field position, a good first down gain by Brown. Never know what happens if they go up by 2 touchdowns with a freshman quarterback in. That might be too much to overcome. And there's your early movement up front for Tech. Looked like Bingo Mancias, the right guard.
Dead ball. Illegal procedure. Offense.
Mark off of 5 back to their own 29-yard line. Spike Dykes, former assistant at Texas. Born across the street from Jones Stadium. And the head coach ever since David McWilliams left us prior to the Independence Bowl, 1986. Hall caught, and a first down at the 41 for Blackshear.
Well, you want to talk about a pinpoint pass. That was a pinpoint pass right in the seam. Look to the left of your screen. You're going to see the defenders. He passes right between them. Look at that accuracy.
Rodney Blackshear, another year here on the South Plains. Ball delivered as he was hit, and another completion to Blackshear. Berry and Curl finally wrestle him down. But what a job by Hall to get that ball off.
Under a lot of pressure, but let's credit Blackshear too. He turned and looked back, saw his quarterback was in trouble, and it was going to be way underthrown. And this ball was way underthrown, and Blackshear just stopped. Look on the left of your screen. Watch Blackshear just stop. The defender runs off and has to come back for the ball.
Not sure how he got that ball off. Burnett almost had him wrapped up.
Well, he may have tipped his arm because the ball was way short.
Worked in Blackshear's favor. His 5th catch already. What a huge day he's had. This is where Hall is so dangerous on the roll, and incomplete. Pass intended for Chris Naughton, the senior, 1 year letterman from Arlington. Cavness had the cover.
Boy, and Hall is just so effective when he's on that roll. He puts so much more pressure on those defensive secondary. Oh, we just had a legend walk in our booth, didn't we? Bringing us Coca-Colas.
Legendary Texas Tech fan, Daddy Orbis, making a return to Lubbock. 2nd and 10. Highest paid delivery boy in the history of college football. Ball. Manny Weather. First down at the 15 of Texas.
I don't think that Robert Hall realizes that he's a freshman and that he's in front of Texas and that he's got 50,000 fans to start the game because he is poised and calm. Look at the flash in front of his face there. Great pressure, and again, just throws another strike.
I don't know that he's thrown any passes that haven't been right there. He's had some drops. Boy, but for the most part, he has been dead on. Pitch goes to Sheffield, and he is wrapped up by Shane Dronette. On that left defensive end for Texas. Also coming up to help Powell and Gunn after a short game.
Boy, you talked on the beginning of this drive, you said, what if? What if Texas is able to take that ball and not turn it over? Look how far Texas Tech has driven the ball. On this drive, they took over on about the 32, 33-yard line. And now they're almost at the 15.
said early has proven true, and that is throwing into the wind has helped the passes. They tended to float with the wind behind it. Ball against the blitz from Curl. Got it off. Sheffield will take a loss back to the 19. He's swarmed by Powell and Jones.
Well, let me tell you how big a play that is. First of all, Hall is going to get dumped. He's got a blitz on him, but Texas with that great defense, not only able to put pressure on Hall, but able to cover the screen play.
Third down, stuck only 2 for 9. Texas allowed 1 of 16 to SMU, 3 of 14 to Arkansas, 4 of 18 to OU, 4 of 16 to Rice. Ball for Byron Hooper. He does not bring it in. It would not have been a first down, but it might have set up an easier field goal attempt. And Lynn Elliott's going to come on and attempt one into the teeth of the breeze. And this one's going to be right at about 35 yards.
Well, let me tell you what a field goal kicker thinks right now. He thinks, I've got to keep it low. I've got to get distance on, so I've got to strike it. I also have to get it over those defensive linemen's hands, so I've got to get it high. This is not a gimme.
Well, he's got enough leg, and he's good. Lynn Elliott, the junior from Waco, has the Red Raiders within 4 early in the third quarter. The Texas lead chopped to 4 on the 35-yard Lynn Elliott field goal, and he bores one into the wind. It'll bounce to Adrian Walker at the 12. And Walker, with a return of about 20 yards, brought down by Ben Kirkpatrick. Scoring drive for the Red Raiders after the Phil Brown fumble, covered 8 plays, 52 yards, and Elliott, with his 10th field goal in 13 tries this year, makes it 14-10. Texas taking over at the 33-yard line. Top of your screen with Samuels inside a hinge. Johnny Walker wide right, and Hadnot is the setback. Takes the give, and a forward surge by the powerful 214-pound freshman. Good for 3 or 4 yards. Licio and Petty wrapped him up there.
Well, you hate to use the old cliche, a huge series, but this is a huge series for both teams. It's really important that Texas come back and establish themselves on offense. It's also important that Tech get their defense out there, try to stop them, get good field position to give it back to their offense.
Gardere, straight drop, incomplete. Samuels, the intended receiver, and he was well covered by Stephon Weatherspoon. So 3rd and 7. We ought to mention that the wind appears to have slowed somewhat, but it is still blowing out of the north, and the rain has also stopped. So all the folks who left, come on back.
Come on back.
Lots of football left. 9:41 in the third quarter. Gardere for Kerry Cash. First down, Sammy Walker with the tackle at the 48-yard line. Boy, it still comes down to the size advantage that the Cashes have on anybody who tries to cover him.
Well, he caught that against Scotty Allen, who's only 5'7". I thought Allen had a chance to swat that ball out of there, but he did not.
Well, that's one of the bigger days of the career for Kerry Cash. He came in with 12 catches for the year. He's got 6 in this game alone. Right up the gut, and another Texas first down to the 40-yard line. Sammy Walker, the right corner, and Charles Rowe making the tackle.
If I've seen that play once, I've seen it 20 times today. It's that counter action where you pull those 2 big linemen through there, Jeff Boyd and Stan Thomas. The ball carrier just gets right behind him, just bends down and hides behind those 2 big guys.
Texas out of the eye this time. And on the draw play, Samuels, right tackle, spins forward for another 9 yards. Ryan Dubisky making the tackle. It took a while. Basically, it took the entire first quarter, but the Texas offensive line now starting to finally assert itself.
And Big Stan Thomas is one of those. 6'6", 293, just drive him off the ball. Oh, boy. You talked about 70-pound advantage. He used it on that. There's the big man.
Great story. Didn't play football until he was a senior in high school. Butch Hadnot has the first. He is inside the 20. Where Sammy Walker brings him down. This is how Texas wanted to play power football.
There's a decision that you have to make as a linebacker, whether to come underneath or to go along the line. Matt Wingo decided to come up through inside. You see him shooting through there? He's behind the play. Hadnot going downfield. There's Weatherspoon. He finally gets to him. He misses him. Boy, that's a tough decision for a linebacker.
Raiders were ready this time for Samuel, and in particular, Stephon Weatherspoon.
Boy, now they stopped it on that play. That was the same play, the opposite direction. Pull those two big linemen, and Weatherspoon he stopped it by himself.
Loss of 2 on first down. So a second and a dozen. Spins away from one tackle and backs his way inside the 15. Well, you got the total package if you're Butch Hadnot. You have power. He showed his balance there, and he's got flat-out speed. It's impossible if he stays healthy not to have an incredible career in Texas.
Well, he will, and mainly because he has great leg strength. We saw him in the weight room the day before the game lifting when we did Texas a few weeks ago, and he has that great leg strength. A lot of running backs, when they get hit, they kind of stop their legs, but he does not. He keeps on driving those legs, trying to pick up that additional yardage.
Well, Texas calling time here to discuss third down and 4. 7 minutes and 19 seconds in the third quarter in a 14-10 ball game.
He's been
third down and 4 for Texas. Not much time remaining in the third quarter. Johnny Walker wide left. Keith Cash wide right. Samuel slot left. And Cash in motion. Here comes the rush. Gardere got it off, and no one in the neighborhood.
Oh, they've got to throw a flag on that because there was no one even close. There's the flag. Gardere under a lot of pressure. He was actually being drugged down from behind on a blitz, and he threw it out to the flat, and there was no one standing there.
Additional Browning. Offense, 5-yard penalty. Lost it down. 4th down.
Give all the credit to the blitzing linebacker Rowe and safety Salt.
Now watch the pressure from the left of your screen. Gardere does a nice job trying to step up, and you see him throw the ball. There's no one there. There's no one even close. So that's a loss of down.
And Michael Pollock, one of the top kickers in the nation, is going to try a 42-yarder. Distance is going to be no problem with the wind. Mark Murdoch with the hold, and he got another one. Michael Pollock, 14 of 16 in 1990, and he gives his Longhorns another 7-point lead. Sports and Entertainment in association with Blockbuster Video is proud to present America's newest postseason bowl game, the Blockbuster Bowl. Live from Joe Robbie Stadium in Fort Lauderdale, Florida, the bowl game by the beach is sure to become one of America's hottest postseason games. So make plans to join us December 28th, 7 Central Time for the first annual Blockbuster Bowl here on Raycom. Michael Pollock and Lynn Elliott have traded field goals in the third quarter. It's Texas 17-10, 7:09 to play. And again, Pollock sailing it deep and over the head of Blackshear. Texas with a key scoring drive to answer the Elliott field goal, mainly on the ground for 9 plays and 42 yards.
The way this game has gone kind of back and forth. Now you look for Tech to say, okay, you answered us. Now we're going to answer you.
Virginia maintaining the lead on Georgia Tech in the second quarter of that huge game. The Citrus Bowl post-birth at stake.
A lot of people question that Virginia #1 in the nation when you look at some of the teams that are behind them.
Again, Tech huddled on the sideline. Quickly, they give to Donald Marshall, and Marshall might have a first down out of bounds at the 30. This is the man who, as a 9th grader, won the state 5A sprint championship in the 100 and the 200 meters.
I'll tell you one thing, he's about one player away from setting another record today, and that's a long run. He was very close to breaking that. He got outside, and you lose outside containment. Everybody's inside, and boy, you have no angle.
He and Lloyd Hill, the prize freshman for this Texas Tech team. Another miss for Lloyd Hill this week. 4th straight game he's been out because of an ankle problem. Sheffield, and a flag down. They may get Texas for another face mask. Ryan Jones making the tackle on Lewis Sheffield.
There's the signal. That's a face mask. He was going to make the first down anyway.
And again, McWilliams has to look over there and say way too many penalties.
5-yard penalty. Replay,
a constant problem for Texas.
And I think that has been a problem, but I think also the big problem has been the past history of coming in here. And David McWilliams really knew that yesterday. You could tell it in his talk of how he said he just kept on telling his players all week, concentrate on this game. Don't look forward. Make sure we think about Texas Tech.
First and 4. Ball rolling well underneath Anthony Manyweather. He was well covered by Richard and Cavness. At the conclusion of today's game, Dave and I will announce the Southwest Airlines player of the game. So please stay with us. To clarify on Lloyd Hill, he was in the game very briefly early at wide receiver. Haven't seen him since. The ankle continues to be a problem. Rodney Blackshear has broken a 25-year-old school record, Donnie Anderson's single-season yardage record. Give up the middle, Marshall. Spun into a hit by Jones, and it'll be 3rd and a long one, perhaps 2.
Well, I was watching Brian Jones that time, number 60. We talked earlier about the number 60 and the importance. You got to come up, you got to stop him, wrap him up. You just don't get away from that man. Got huge arm strength. That's what I think the most impressive thing about him is.
Well, another day in which it's been almost impossible to pick up a 3rd down against the Texas defense. Raiders need 2. Pearl chasing Hall. And this is going to be interesting. Where they mark Robert Hall out of bounds, he does not have the first down. Mark Berry made the hit on that sideline.
This is a really tough play for a quarterback because you run out there, you see the flag, you know what you have to get. You also have to realize that you've lost your first-team quarterback, and coaches teach you to go out of bounds. Hall, I thought he had it for a second there on his initial forward progress and then got knocked out of bounds. The official saw it when he went out of bounds. He marked it where he went out of bounds.
So needing about 1 to Lagerheim, ready to kick to Samuels. And the wing catches this one, knocks it straight down. Fair catch, 38-yard line. 5:42 in the 3rd quarter, 17-10 Texas. 3 straight, but they trail 17-10. And Gardere going deep. Keith Cash out of bounds at the 38-yard line. But Dave, that's a victory for Tech. He should have scored on that play.
He certainly should have. You talk about a fake. That was a great fake into the line. Watch Gardere right there. Fake. Everybody bit on the fake. And you can see how wide open he is. He just underthrew the football. So Cash was wide open. Had he let him a little bit, they'd be striking up the Texas band.
Now that is a tough ball to throw going to your left if you're right-handed. Had 6 written all over it. Samuels, 2 yards to the 36. Hit by Stephon Weatherspoon and Matt Wingo. You know, less has been more, really, in the senior season of Chris Samuels. He's gotten less total activity than he did in his first 3 years. But he's gotten more out of the limited duty, especially the last couple of weeks.
You look at over an 8-yard carry average. Pretty good.
8.6 coming in. Samuels again. Stutter step at the line. Gain to the 31. Weatherspoon hit him again. It'll be third and about 3.
Now with this field position and the time remaining, 4:52 here in this third quarter. With Texas, what you want to do is just use the clock, drive the ball, don't make a mistake, and take control of this football game with a long drive and a score. If you're a Tech fan, you're saying defense turn the ball over somehow. Interception, fumble, penalty, anything to stop this Texas drive.
Option, had not, has the first down. And all the way to the 20 for Butch Hadnot, the freshman from Kirbyville. Rowe and Walker hit it.
Well, what you call him, EC? This looks like Earl Campbell. Look at the way he runs. The body lean right here, the feet down on the ground, quick stutter steps. I'll tell you, he's going to be compared for a lot of years to Earl Campbell.
Hadnot again. And again, a first down. It'll be goal to go at the 9. I tell you, there's one key difference. Earl Campbell got the ball 25, 30 times a game. They have so much depth at running back, it's doubtful that Hadnot in his whole career may ever carry 30 times.
Absolutely. When you stop and look at Phil Brown and Adrian Walker and Hadnot and Samuels, Wilson back there wanting a few carries, they've got tremendous depth.
Texas Tech all years had trouble stopping the run. That's been the case ever since the first quarter today. This time they wrap up Samuels. He still squeezes forward for about 3. Give Fred Petty and Wingo credit for the tackle.
Well, I can tell you one player there's no quitting on this Texas Tech team, and that's Matt Wingo. Tremendous intensity. Off on the snap, he gets ahead of the center's block, weaves his way through, and he gets a piece. He is one of the reasons that if they have had success stopping him, it's because of him. Great intensity back there.
Played every snap last year, so every snap this year. Another ground-dominated drive for Texas. Second down, 8. Here comes the rush. And Marcus Washington tried to wrap up Gardere, did a phenomenal job getting that one off in the neighborhood of Derek Duke.
Now in the NFL, this would have been in the grass, but here in college, it's not. But watch, he holds onto his sleeve. It looks like he grabs his sleeve and just kind of pulls him around. Right there. See, he's got his sleeve. Now watch Gardere. Good move right here to get the ball off and just avert about a 20-yard loss.
What a great shot. He had him by the very end of his sleeve.
I've made a lot of tackles that way. Coaches love those. Any way to get them down.
Oh, for the days of the tearaway jersey.
Tearaway T-shirt.
Third and goal. Time for Gardere. Delivers, and Kerry Cash brought down at the 1 by Tracy Saul. It'll be 4th and goal.
Well, I want to tell you something. Cash is a great target coming across the middle. He has no fear. There he is at the top. This is just a drag pattern where he comes right across the goal line. Look at this. No fear of getting hit. Great concentration. Looks the ball all the way in. Certainly didn't bobble that one.
Well, the decision on the Texas side to go for the field goal. Michael Pollock and Mark Murdoch on. This will virtually be an extra point. It'll be an 18-yarder. Pollock Marcus 14 of 16. Snap count down to 0, and they'll back up 5 yards. Or if Texas Tech wants, they may decline the penalty and make the angle that much more pronounced for Pollock.
Absolutely. That's what I would do. It's going to be delay a game. Now, you really want, if you're on the offense team, you want this because it gives you a better angle to kick it from. If you're a defensive player, you turn it down, make them kick from the 1-yard line. But I think this is a wise move. You don't want to drive all this way, not make it, and give that momentum with only a 7-point lead, give it back to Tech.
Now they're taking the penalty. This surprises me.
It does to me also.
Unless Dykes is worried that Texas may fake it and just try and gouge out that final yard.
I think that's exactly what he's worried about. There's nothing to lose down here, so to speak. Would he take a chance?
So it'll be a 23-yarder. And he's good. Texas, for the first time today, with more than a slight lead. It's now 20-10, 2:03 remaining in the third quarter. And they can finally say to themselves, well, one play won't cost us the lead. That's the first time they've been in that position. If today holds to form, this isn't going to finish a 10-point game.
No, we've talked about the tight games on the South Plains. Look at the margin of victory. 4 of those last 5 games here.
Of course, in '88, Texas led by 17. Coming into the fourth quarter, lost by 1. Another comeback in McWilliams' only season here at Tech, to win by 2 in '86. That's been the history here. And we have to get a holder out for Michael Pollock.
We may have to get a thermometer, because I'll tell you one thing. As the sun goes down, it's getting a little bit cooler.
Well, funny you should mention thermometer. We happen to have one right here. Statistician Kurt McCarley wearing a thermometer. And it says 41 degrees.
I don't believe it.
Well, we'll get a stat on the wind chill. I don't know how in the world you can be a barefoot kicker this time of the year. 9-play drive, 56 yards, second Michael Pollock field goal of the day to make it 20-10. Texas showing a lot of poise after falling behind as early as they did, as A&M mounts their lead on SMU, and Virginia by 7 on Georgia Tech in the second.
And I want to tell you, that's a sign of a great team. When everything is not going well, you're able to come back, reestablish. You don't bail out and start doing things that just go against your game plan. You just stick with it and you play.
James Sears, the fullback, is driven back. Boone Powell got good early penetration. Patton and Jones also there. And a loss of 2 for Sears. BYU rolling it up on Air Force at half. We are down under a minute and a half to go in the third quarter. Texas Tech into the win for that much longer. Then they'll have it at their backs in the fourth quarter. And down goes Robert Hall. James Patton got there first, and Dronette helped finish him off. For Patton, it's his 7th sack of the year, and that leads this Texas defense.
Boy, I'll tell you one thing. What Hall did is he turned weak side, and he never sees James Patton come just exploding through. Look at Patton. What a move. That's called a swim move. What you do is you actually, it almost looks like you're taking a swimming stroke. It's like you toreador your offensive lineman, and he was flying in there.
James Patton, who may have developed as fast as anybody on this Texas defense. The strongest defensive lineman they've ever had been. Sears in motion, third and 20, and again Hall buried back at the 6-yard line. This is shades of the Miami game for him last week.
Well, that was going to be a quarterback draw. This is going to be a quarterback draw. In other words, the quarterback drops back, but watch the wave of white just flying in there. Now see right there, draw, step right back up inside, and he's just smothered.
I think they give Dronette the credit for the sack, but really you could give it to the entire front four. They were all swarming Robert Hall. Spike Dykes has to be concerned. He's got a punt coming from his own end zone. 25 seconds remaining. Now the Horns have used their second to last timeout. They'll have one remaining for the rest of this ball game, and the reason they take it, of course, is because they want the Lagerheim to have to kick into the wind.
What a difference that is. That's heads-up coaching. You looked up, they saw the clock was going to run out, so you waste the timeout to make him punt into the wind and hope that you get great field position. Samuels is standing on about the 32-yard line.
Well, the excitement and hard-hitting drama of college football, post-season style, just around the corner. So make plans to join Raycom Sports and Entertainment for the Freedom Bowl, live from Anaheim, California, December 29th, 7 o'clock kickoff Central Time. 9 yards deep. Great view over the shoulder of the Lagerheim. The Horns play for the return. He sails a nice spiral and all the way back at the 45 is Samuels. And this is a gamble that does not work for Texas.
The Lagerheim got his best punt of the day. And look at the congratulations he gets when he runs to the sideline.
39 yards, really quite an effort into the breeze. And it cost Texas that timeout, so they'll have only one the rest of the way. They do lead by 10. They'll run probably one more play with the wind at their back here in the third quarter. Flags are down, whistles blow. Don't think he got the play off in time. Well, if that's the call, that's always such a surprise on a change of possession. There's really no reason for it.
Well, what it is, if in fact that is the call, it's just kind of a lackadaisical run in there.
Dead ball.
There it is. It's a dead ball foul.
Offense.
And it's motion, not delay of the game. But usually when that happens on an exchange, what it is the offense doesn't hurry out on the field. You see, David McWilliams didn't like it.
Well, they ran 2 seconds off the clock, and it's 14 seconds. First and 15, handoff, Adrian Walker. Nice cutback, and he got himself about 7 yards. Another Charles Rowe tackle on what will be the final play of the third quarter. That is the end of the third quarter at Jones Stadium in Lubbock, 20-10 Texas. We're back after these messages from your local station. This is the Raycom Sports and Entertainment Network. At Jones Stadium in Lubbock, Dave Barnett, Dave Rowe, 20-10 Texas. As the fourth quarter will unfold, 2nd and 9 at the Raider 44. Pitch back, Patrick Wilson gets his first call today, and he gets nothing. Junior from Odessa Permian with his 16th carry of the year. Ronald Ferguson made the tackle. Yet another in the seemingly endless procession of running backs for the Texas Longhorns. Patrick Wilson through 3 quarters. Now you're seeing a sizable total yardage lead for Texas, and in particular on the ground. Gardere on 3rd and 9 to the sideline and through the hands of Keith Cash. That's the ball he had to way up there high, and his hope Cash could bring it down. Ferguson was there in front of him and just a little bit too tall. So Waits into the wind on 4th down.
Waits has not kicked many times into the wind today. He's had the wind at his back most times when he was kicking.
Boy, you'd never know this goes into the wind.
Didn't make any difference for him. That's why he has a 43.8-yard average coming into this game.
44 yards here with the wind. That's like about a 70-yarder. That's phenomenal. Back after this from Southwest Airlines.
Have you ever wondered how to make a ball move, how to make it sink, how to make it break, how to get a little skip on your fastball? In Pitching Absolutes by Tom House, this is all discussed. Believe it or not, it's not the finger placement, but the forearm and the wrist that arranges the finger placement that will give you action on the ball. Along with that specific approach, you will learn about balance, direction, weight transfer, and deception. The very things that a pitcher has to have to get the most out of his talent. Above all, in a big picture analysis, we also discuss weight training, nutritional training, and the mental approach to the game in a composite that will ensure that whatever talent you have, you can take it between the lines and get some hitters out with it. Did you know that throwing a football can help you throw a baseball? In Pitching Absolutes, it's explained. Here's how you can order to get all this information.
Call 1-800-937-3366. Operators are standing by.
To 10 early fourth quarter. One of the many areas of defensive improvement for Texas is in points allowed. Look at that, just about half what they allowed last year. One of the lesser defensive units ever in Texas in the late 80s, but they have assembled the talent to turn that around this year. Robert Hall and the Raiders from their 20. Knocked away by Stanley Richard. It was intended for Manny Weather. That's the third big play by Richard today. A frightful sight. Richard with an interception, a caused fumble, and a deflection.
I'd look for Robert Hall to go downfield again. He has been effective. He can get Blackshear or Manny Weather open. Get that one-on-one coverage. He's got the wind at his back.
Raiders go with 4 wideouts. Byron Hooper in motion. Hall right to Boone Powell. To the 10, to the 5. Touchdown. Heels that time, intended for Blackshear and right into the hands of the junior from Duncanville, Boone Powell. So for the extra point, Pollock, he's good, and it's 27-10 Texas.
And this has to be an offensive misunderstanding. The receiver turned out. You'll see it here on the bottom of your screen. The receiver turned out. Hall threw for an inside play. The only person inside was Boone Powell, and he just takes it right down the field.
And he is going to remember this one. His first college interception goes for 6 points. 13:57 to play, and the Horns in charge now in Lubbock. Texas now leading by 17 points, 27-10. 13:57 remaining. We check our Schick storyline for today's game. And Texas again today showing a balanced offensive attack. Jamie Gill went out with a fractured hand, and Texas Tech has been non-existent on third down, except for their touchdown.
That's right. Third down conversions. One of those third downs they converted into a touchdown, but other than that, they just have not been able to convert.
Pollock sailing this one to the 17, Blackshear. That's why he's the best in the conference, all the way to the 45-yard line of the Raiders with some good field position. Blackshear, of course, the intended receiver on Boone Powell's interception for a touchdown. But now Texas Tech, Dave, in the same position they were last year. As you check a new school record again for Blackshear already today. He's broken Anderson's single-season reception yardage record and now breaks Donnie Anderson's kickoff return yardage record as well. Play action for Hall. And tipped again. Almost another pickoff for Stanley Richard. Anthony Stinnett, the intended receiver.
Boy, Stinnett had that one zeroed in, but Richard playing that center field position, reading the eyes of the young quarterback, Robert Hall, reacting well to the ball. Hall has got to learn, and he will as he plays this game. You've got to look off receivers. You've got to pick up that primary receiver, go off to a secondary receiver, and come back to that primary receiver, so you don't have that safety standing out there just reacting right to whichever way you're passing.
And of course, down by 17, it's like last week in that he can expect to rush every single down. Texas can tee off. This one for Hooper. He got it at the 30. Nice effort here, the 10th catch of the year for the junior from San Antonio Clark in front of Lance Gunn.
Well, I think that first thing comes to mind, of course, in this drive and in this situation is that Spike Dykes has got to be pleased with his team. They've never quit today. They've had a lot of things go wrong after last week being wiped out, but this is a young team who just says, hey, we're still in this football game.
Handoff and blasted is Donald Marshall. He said hello to Shane Dronette.
Got swallowed by Shane Dronette. He talked about Dronette boxing the refrigerators there back sometime.
Well, as an 11-year-old, when he couldn't find 16-year-olds to box, he would just go after refrigerators.
Punch refrigerators. That time he just punched Donald Marshall right to the ground. Boom.
Loss of 4. Manny Weather in motion. And Hall to the sideline, another grab, and another first down. Stinnett brought down by Lance Gunn. This is how the Raiders have to do it because they are not going to sustain anything on the ground.
And think of the situation that Robert Hall came in. No warm-up. Your first-team quarterback goes down with a broken hand. You get about 3 little snaps and 2 little passes, and he has come in, and boy, has he been accurate. He had 2 or 3 dropped. He's been right on target with just about every pass he's thrown.
Did it help him that he went in with no warning from a mental standpoint? He didn't have time to worry about it?
I think absolutely that helped him. No pressure. He didn't have time to have pressure.
Got it off. Screen to Sheffield. Out of one tackle by Curl. And the second man, Garza, came up for the stop at the 10-yard line. The Raiders continue to march. 93 total yards last week. Their low since their first year in the Southwest Conference when they had 85 yards against this Texas team. And today a total of 262. Much more like what you expect from Texas. Really close to it. Really expect 400, 450 from Tech. Sheffield got 8, 2nd and 2. There's Powell and a huge sack of Hall all the way back at the 24.
I'll tell you, I was going to say this, you cannot cut block linebackers, and Boone Powell is not going to let you cut block them. When the running back comes out there to get the block on Powell, he goes at his feet. Now watch this right here. It's Sheffield. He's going to try to block him low. Powell just steps over him and causes the big loss. You just do not block. You don't try to cut block linebackers. You block them up high.
So 3rd and 15. This time, it was Patton who gave chase and almost intercepted at the goal line by Lance Gunn, intended for Stinnett. And on 4th down, the Raiders will send the field goal unit on. They'll try to get 2 touchdowns within Texas with 10:52 remaining.
And that's a learning process there again for Robert Hall. He averted just disaster by throwing that ball. He was fortunate it wasn't intercepted because he threw it up for grabs.
Hooper to hole for Elliott, the former walk-on from Waco. 41 yards out, blocked by Shane Dronette. It bounced right back into his hands, and another block kick by Texas. They've made a habit of this all year.
Well, Dronette comes through standing up. That's almost unheard of, to be able to come through the line standing up. He was still on his feet. Watch him right in the center of your screen. Look at that. He's standing right up there. He just splits the gap, and he just swats the ball down.
That's the second block this year by still 17. Woods had not. Dropped for a rare loss. Mike Licio wrapped him up low, and that was the key hit. Gave his friends time to come finish him off. Dranette, like so many players who block kicks this year, coming from the middle. Does that have to do with the fact there's no tee anymore in college football?
Well, not a whole lot with the tee. There's the old, it's almost like it's the oldest written law in field goal kicking. You block inside first. Evidently there was a breakdown there because you just don't let anybody slide through standing up.
Had not lost 2. 2nd and 12. Gardere away from one sack, but not Licio.
Just to say another comment about your no tee kicking. The only thing that really affects is the kicker because he has to get the ball up a little bit more. But on penetration like that, if he had a 6-inch tee, he wouldn't have gotten that over Dranette's hands.
That loss brings up 3rd and 17. Red Raider defense not quitting. 9.5 minutes to go. 27-10, Texas. This time Gardere with a day and a half. Keith Cash at the 31. He's 10 yards shy of the first down yardage as Charles Rowe made the tackle, and Waits and company will kick it away. Texas in position to use the clock. Gamble, the 17-point lead, will stand up. Tracy Saul stands at his 36-yard line. And the Raiders got the block. Picked up for a touchdown. Stephon Weatherspoon got the block, and Scotty Allen carried it in. Boy, something about coming to Lubbock for these Texas Longhorns. The beasts come out every other year.
Well, I watched them line up. There were 10 men on the line. They flanked out on the lower side of the screen, and they just split him. And he just burst right up there.
And they go for 2. They'll try to get within 9. Robert Hall, as he was hit, got it in the area of Anthony Manyweather. He was covered by Cavness, and the lead is still 11. Here's what happened when Waits tried to kick it away.
He doesn't even get it off his foot. Look this. Boom, right there.
That was blocked by the left elbow of Weatherspoon. That's the type of penetration he had. Scotty Allen, the junior from San Angelo Central, scoring for the Red Raiders, and they are not out of it yet.
The magnificent Yankee, the great number 7, Mickey Mantle.
Yes, it's Mickey Mantle. In an exciting new video, the Mick tells you his own story, his career, his riotous escapades on and off the field, and much, much more. Meet a Mickey Mantle few fans have ever known. Learn the real story behind the infamous Copacabana incident. Feel the excitement of the record-breaking home run race with Roger Maris. Recapture the drama of Don Larson's perfect game. Watch Casey Stengel tie a Senate subcommittee in knots.
He was really putting the stinglese to him that day.
Hear the hilarious story of how Billy Martin shot a cow.
Billy was always a great one for jokes.
Meet Ford, Berra, and the great Joe DiMaggio. See some of the longest home runs ever hit. It's all here on one great video, acclaimed by critics everywhere. Use your credit card and call toll-free to order Mickey Mantle. The American dream comes to life. Just $19.95 plus $3.50 shipping.
Order now by calling 1-800-634-2100.
Raycom Sports and Entertainment, in association with Blockbuster Video, proud to present America's newest postseason bowl game, the Blockbuster Bowl. Live from Joe Robbie Stadium in Fort Lauderdale, Florida, the bowl game by the beach is sure to become one of America's hottest postseason games. So make plans to join us on December 28th at 7 Central Time for the first annual Blockbuster Bowl. And SMU hanging very tight with Texas A&M. 8:51 to play in this game, and we have a game. Make no mistake. That 17-point lead did not last long for the Horns. Samuels from his own end zone. Looked like he might have been a block or two away from a big return. And it's Texas from their own 22. Tony Brown made the hit, and Samuels yet to make his way to his feet. Might be shaken up. Now slowly helped over toward the sideline. And with 8:46 remaining, if all goes as planned for Texas, they will keep it on the ground, use up the time, a long, slow drive, and if they use enough time, it might not even matter if they score, as long as they can eat the clock out.
Well, it's almost like Spike Dykes turned up the wind, because it's really starting to blow. It was lulled there for a few minutes, but now it's really blowing hard.
Patrick Wilson, a couple of yards to the 24. Another Wingo tackle. Here's what you're talking about. That's got to be the hardest gale that we've seen all day.
Yeah, it really has picked up, and it's right in the face of Texas. The heck with Tech.
Play action, Gardere. Boy, a dangerous pass intended for Johnny Walker. It was almost intercepted by Ronald Ferguson. If he picks that ball off.
He is down the sidelines. That was very close. Both he and the receiver both went for the ball at the same time.
Beck doing a good job bottling up Johnny Walker today. Just 3 catches for 31 yards. Last year, 8 grabs, 142 yards in this game. 3rd and 8. Over the middle for Kerry Cash. Look out. Another touchdown, saving tackle out of bounds by Tracy Saul at midfield, and the big day for Kerry Cash is not over yet.
Well, let me tell you what happened on that play. Matt Wingo, they were going to go motion, and Wingo goes out of the center. He just kind of drifts out of the center, and you can see coming strong side. There's Cash right over the middle. See Wingo turning around. He never sees him. Looks like it might have been a defensive mix-up, but you just can't leave the middle that wide open.
Now the Horns back to the ground game at 8 yards for Patrick Wilson on 1st down. Lysion Dubisky made the tackle. Is it possible for all 3 of these senior Texas receivers, the Cashes and Johnny Walker, to be all first-round picks the same year?
It's going to be tough, but I can tell you this. They certainly, Walker's got the speed. Cash, both Kerry and Keith have certainly got the size and the fearlessness to go across the middle. That's the amazing thing. You go across that middle in the NFL, and that's no man's land.
2nd down give, again, Patrick Wilson. 6', 212-pounder. Another row tackle. Gardere will look at 3rd down, and where they mark it, he'll need less than, well, we'll call it right at 1. And the clock rolls down near 7 minutes. Tech led after 3 plays, 7-0. Texas led at the half, 14-7. They now lead 27-16. And Phil Brown stopped short of the 40.
And you see who gets up, number 45, Matt Wingo. Boy, they just filled the hole quickly.
Well, if anything, Brown might have lost a foot, so Texas will not gamble on 4th down. But remember what happened last time Waits dropped back.
And they're lined up in the same way. They've got 10 guys coming.
He got it off. Boy, and the wind nails that one at the 24. Curtis Thrift finally downing it at the 22. That ball literally dropped straight down. 6:07 to go. Back after these messages from Southwest Airlines. 11. 2 of the most foolish human beings in America. Very underdressed for the conditions. And at kickoff, we're going to show you exactly what the temperature is. Mid-30s. At kickoff, it was low 40s. The wind chill was in the high teens. The wind chill now, as figured by Kirk McCarley, our statistician of all things having to do with football, got to be down around 10 degrees. Texas Tech going deep, and it hits the back of the Texas defender down there, Boone Powell, who had deep coverage on Donald Marshall circling out of the backfield.
Oh, and had Hall been able to throw that one long, Marshall certainly had him beat deep. Powell did a good job. He turned and just ran, put his hands up. Now that would be considered face guarding in the NFL, but it's not in college.
Hall delivers another interception. Lance Gunn, another Texas touchdown. The second half, Robert Hall delivers interceptions. The Horns return both for touchdowns. It is 33-16, and Michael Pollock will try to make it 34. And
twice Robert Hall has not looked off his wide receiver, and twice this has happened. Gunn, look at the jump he got on the ball. He just flew to it.
The second career interception for the sophomore from Houston North Shore. It goes for 6 to right some errors from last year. Last year, the defense burned and Tech took the upset win at Austin. Today, the Texas defense is doing most of the scoring in the second half with their first 2 touchdown interception returns of the year. One by Powell, one by Gunn, and they lead 34-16. Jamie Gill out with a fractured bone in his right hand. We don't have word as to what the rest of the season will look like for Gill, but as in the case of Leon Clay for TCU, it's impossible to figure how he could possibly play.
Not a quarterback, not with a broken bone on your throwing hand.
This is Ben Kirkpatrick with the return of the squib by Pollock. And into Texas territory.
You know, you talked about the Texas defense. You take 14 points off this score, and you've got a 20-16 football game. So credit certainly has to go to the Texas team for those 2 interceptions.
That representing maybe the biggest reason why Texas leads the race for the Cotton Bowl. Today, they've held the Raiders to 268 yards. Tech offense coming in averaging 358. And until last week, it was about 400. Hall on a scramble, 30. Cavness giving chase. Finally at the 20. Robert Hall after a pickup of 25 yards.
Boy, that changes the complexion quickly. He's going to roll out here. I don't think he had a whole lot of idea to pass on this play. I think it was just run all the way. Now, he looks like he's running at full speed. Everybody else looks like about 3/4. Get out of my way. Nice pickup down inside the 20-yard line.
Clock rolling, 5.5 minutes. Sheffield really seemed to trip himself up at the 18. Jones was in the area. He'll probably get credit for the tackle. It'll be 2nd and 8. And the clock continues to roll. Texas trying to improve to 6-1 overall. It's their best start since 1984. Texas Tech trying to avoid falling to 2-7 for the year. And of course, if Texas holds on, it sets up the showdown with Houston and Austin next week. Ball to the side. Manyweather caught it on one knee at the 7. First down, goal to go. And again, the Red Raiders are far from finished today.
When you have a quarterback interceptions, you take those away. You look at the play of Robert Hall in here. This could be certainly a much different game.
He's made 2 mistakes, and they've cost him 14 points. Other than that, he has just about been flawless. Here's Sheffield. Powers his way down near the goal line. And the Red Raiders lobby for a touchdown signal. But no, they'll mark it at about the inch line.
One thing, let me say about Texas, I think that Texas has made great strides in the maturity of their team because they came out here, Dave, and they were absolutely out of sync. They just couldn't do anything right. We saw that first quarter. Then all of a sudden they got back into the basics. They got control. A lot of teams would have folded in that situation, but they certainly did not fold.
Ball for the sneak. Flags are down as he carries the 18 inches for the touchdown, maybe. This has been a penalty-plagued game from the outset. But Alexander says touchdown.
That is someone lining up in the neutral zone.
Defensive offsides, 34-22 game. And Keck ready to go for 2. Robert Hall over to the sideline. Now the Red Raiders want to make sure they have all the necessary bodies in to go for 2 and try and make it a 10-point game. 3:49 to go. And as many mistakes as we've seen these defensive sports today, it's still not over.
I can promise you David McWilliams isn't going to take that deep breath until the clock says 0-0. Now they moved the ball to the 1-yard line, I believe, because of the penalty.
Half the distance.
Yes.
And Hall delivers low and incomplete, intended for Shane Sears.
Oh, he had him wide open. That's the one that you've got to take that little bit of extra effort to just kind of calm down. Now this one here, he barely gets in there. He doesn't make it by a whole lot. He just kind of squeezes in there. But on that 2-point conversion, watch how wide open the receiver is here. Hall's not under a lot of pressure, and he just throws it down into the ground. Gosh, boy, that's a zinger.
Texas still with a 12-point margin. 22, that really is a huge miss of the 2-point conversion because Tech now would have to have 2 touchdowns. Otherwise, they could kick a field goal, touchdown with a 2-point conversion, thinking optimistically that they'd have a chance of pulling this one out. The onside kick, batted up in the air by Berry, and it is brought down. Texas with the recovery near the midfield stripe by Kerry Cash.
I thought that was Kerry Cash.
The only thing he hadn't done, recover an onside kick.
When I saw him go up, I said, boy, that guy can jump. And it was Kerry Cash. That could have been a huge play there because the ball did what Texas Tech wanted it to do. It hit a receiver and then went high up in the air. Heads-up play by Kerry Cash.
Chris Samuels back after being briefly shaken up. Charles rolls the tackle, gain of about 3, and the clock rolls at 3:35.
Tech has 3 timeouts, and you can better believe that in the huddle right now, in that Texas huddle, they're saying, hold on to the ball. Nothing foolish. Wrap it away. Don't do anything. Just trying to get extra yardage. Just keep that ball in tight. Control the clock and let it run out.
Still on the ground. Hadnot, who's had a long rest here in the second half. From maybe 1, Wingo with the tackle. Next week, we will be in Waco. Arkansas against Baylor. Who would have thought that nothing against Baylor, but it would have been a bigger game for them than for Arkansas when the season began. Arkansas long since out of it, and the Bears hope to keep their Cotton Bowl hopes alive. 12 noon kickoff here on Raycom next week.
And doesn't that tie with Texas A&M really loom in the Cotton Bowl picture?
Matt Vogler in charge the rest season for TCU, and they have the early lead in the Astrodome. Gardere, 3rd and 7. All day, he'll run and get it. And he is dropped by Scotty Allen inside the 35 with 2 minutes and 19 seconds.
I want to tell you how big that was. That play, he started running, and then at 2:19, they're going to start the clock up. You've got to stay in front of a scramble quarterback. You just can't. Everybody get on outside. The Texas linemen do a good job of forcing everybody wide, opening up that path in front for Gardere, and he scrambles up and gets a first down.
Clock continues to roll. And a nice dart outside. Now back inside. Samuels all the way down to the 12. Texas just wearing down the Tech defense today.
This is great running by Chris Samuels, 23. Makes that little move outside and then uses that speed, and again just cuts underneath, compact, just keeps on pushing on down, gets great. He's just an excellent running back.
14 carries, 75 yards, and a touchdown for Samuels today. Hadnot hit by Petty, continues on all the way to the 6, a gain of 6. One after another, they just keep coming from the Texas backfield.
Well, you remember starting the game when you said how Texas, what if we could just play that one over? I'm sure there's going to be a lot of plays that Texas Tech is going to look and say, what if we could only play that play over?
SMU hanging very tough with the Aggies. And Georgia Tech back within 7 of Virginia. Second and 4, Samuels. First hit was by Dubisky, the strong safety. He got the 5. And we're inside of, well, they now stop the clock at 1:07 remaining. Brian Jones of Texas, number 60, product of Dunbar High School here in Lubbock. And yesterday, along with David McWilliams, made a visit to St. Mary of the Plains Hospital. Visit Jerome Moore, another Dunbar football product. A man who was injured in a preseason scrimmage. He was originally paralyzed from the neck down. He now is paralyzed from the mid-chest area down. And Jones and McWilliams wanted to wish him well yesterday. He has also received a lot of visits from Texas Tech players this year. And, of course, we hope that Jerome Moore continues to make progress in his recovery.
Well, you can see he had a good day yesterday. Had a nice big smile when he saw Brian Jones there and David McWilliams. .07 remaining.
Texas Tech with the timeout, and for Texas it will be 3rd down and 3. David McWilliams that close to his first victory for Texas as head coach here in Lubbock. Which Hadnot turns it up and has 6 more.
Outstanding run. Plays are designed, that was designed to go about the 4-hole, which is off your right guard. And Hadnot just planted those feet and cut all the way back around and runs it all the way outside the other tackle. That's just a great cut.
Hadnot's 4th collegiate touchdown, and it is 40-22. +1. Well, in name only, Butch Hadnot is a freshman. This is not a run that many freshmen can pull on.
Absolutely not. Watch this. This is designed to go out there. Now look, plant those feet. Look where he cuts. All the way down along the line, sees the seam, and just skips into the end zone. But what a tremendous cut. That's one of those AstroTurf cuts. He just cut completely against the grain and just pops right in there for the score.
As we take a look at everybody that helps our Raycom production staff. John North from Texas Tech, Dave Saba for the University of Texas. Our statistician, as always, Kurt McCarley. And the rest of our outstanding crew. 1:01 remaining, 41-22 Texas. A game they trailed after 3 down, 7-0. They led by only 7 at the half. And after the blocked punt by Tech, they returned for the touchdown. A game still very much up for grabs, but you hit on a key word, maturity. And Texas has shown tons of maturity. They've had to.
Absolutely.
Blackshear from the 15. And Todd Ringo blasts him at the 33. With 54 seconds remaining, Texas Tech will take over from there. Today, Southwest Airlines player of the game is the senior from San Antonio Holmes, Kerry Cass. 7 catches, 104 yards and a touchdown. He came into today with a total of 12 catches for the year. 7 in this game alone, and most of them when this game was still in doubt. So Kerry Cash, our Southwest Airlines player of the game. Dranette with a sack back at the 24. Fitting finish for the Texas defense.
Boy, and I think of Kerry Cash on that one drive when he caught those 3 just clutch passes. There he is getting congratulated.
30 seconds. Ball again under pressure, fires and bounces it to Blackshear. Rodney Blackshear, who started this game with a 79-yard touchdown from Jamie Gill, who has long since been gone with a fractured bone in his throwing hand. Now, finally, Texas can think about Houston. And that's a Houston team that has burned the Texas defense like no team has ever burned the Texas defense. They think they figured out some adjustments. They think they have enough team speed to make it a game this year, as Anthony Stinnett carries to the 41-yard line with 13 seconds remaining. Now, what do you think? Does the Texas defense have what they're going to need against Houston?
Well, they certainly played well against SMU. That was a real surprise to handle that run and shoot, but you're talking about a totally different animal with Houston's run and shoot.
Last chance intended for Stinnett, incomplete, and it's all over, and David McWilliams finally can leave Lubbock with a